That's going to be bigger than the internet.
We'll turn our mics on and off.
Oh, okay, cool.
You don't have to worry about
So
it.
do you want to just power them all up?
Welcome into the Upstate Pulse. My name is Lonzo. It is a beautiful Saturday. Now, listen, I know you can look outside and go, we've got some more rain clouds. We've had rain all week long, but we need it. And this isn't an old man talking. Green grass is pretty. You know how grass gets green? It needs to be fed. It needs to be watered, and nature has taken care of that. So I can't wait to get out on the old mower tomorrow and mow the lawn because it is lush out there, like I am, lush.
That's what I did today.
Without a doubt. I'm lush, but not a lush. And if this is the first time you've listened to this program, I don't know where you've been, because we've been here over 8 years. But now that you are here, maybe you are in North Carolina, maybe you're in Georgia, some of our new listeners there, and you're wondering, okay, what is this? What is going on? Well, what it is the Upstate Pulse. And here's what we do here on the Upstate Pulse is we talk pop culture stuff. We talk video games, comic books. We talk streaming services. We talk just all that kind of stuff. We'll talk Bigfoot. Today we're talking Combat Dolphins, because even if we don't get to Combat Dolphins, just being able to say to turn the mic on and come on here and say Combat Dolphins, it makes me feel good about myself. I don't know why, but it does. So Combat Dolphins, we're talking about that today. So thank you for taking us along while you're on your way to wherever you're going, or if you're on your way from where you were and you're coming back, or if you're going hither, thither, or yon. Thank you for taking us along with us. How do you know when you've reached yon, Tim? How do you know when you've reached yon? If you went hither and thither and then you get to yon, how do you know you've made it to yon?
When you start yawning.
Okay, that's okay.
I kind of thought it's like Bed Bath and then beyond. So you're like in the beyond.
Yeah, beyond.
Like you've gone too far.
Well,
like you're
they just went bankrupt. So
did they?
So there's that. Yes,
well, it's because they don't have Michael Keaton over there being their manager.
That's right, because he's very organized, just like in other guys. He's got everything under control.
Mm-hmm.
On today's show, we are going to review The Flash with spoilers this time. With spoilers. Don't get upset, Tim. Okay, we'll get it taken care of here in just a second. All right.
You're having
Don't
a very
angry.
Karen pose right now. It's like you're wanting to speak to the manager.
You can't see me.
All right. But you can, hear him. Yes, he is John Cena for the moment. So we're also going to talk about the big proposed battle between Elon Musk and Zuckerberg. So go ahead and get who do you think is going to win? Elon Musk versus Zuckerberg in the cage. It is a thing that is going to happen. Dana White's working on it. Dana White's working on it. It's going to happen. So we're going to be talking about that. All right. Steven says no spoilers on stream. I'll tell you about the stream here in a second. We're going to spoil when we get to it, and I'll give you enough because we talked about it last week. I'll give you enough time to leave the program for a few minutes. We don't like when that happens. Okay, let me introduce the stars of the show. There's a new guy, and if you're looking on the screen, you're like, who is that? His name is Odie, and he has started. If you listen to the Charlie James show last couple of days, you have heard his voice, maybe even saw him on camera.
Possibly.
And he is training today, and I don't know if you know this, but he's originally not from around here.
No, I ain't from around these parts.
There we go. He's working on a Southern accent, though. He did a little bit earlier, and it wasn't bad.
I thought it was pretty
not
good.
bad.
Yeah.
I think it's coming in fine.
There you go.
I like it.
There you go. So if you
look at it like a southern accent is like further down the skill tree from like the Irish.
No.
It's further down from the Irish. What?
He's not meaning it that way. He's cracking on the Southern accent.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And he's talking about how you're able to do it. And it's more
the way I can talk like y'all, but y'all can't talk like me.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
That's it.
We can't go further back, but you went further forward.
So anyway, he's not from around here. Thank you, Zach. That's funny. Also, Tim is here, but we're having to use a backup computer, which
I'm here, but I'm not here.
Yeah, he's here. The backup computer is being it hadn't been booted up in a while.
Tim.
It's still running like AOL. And Matthew's not here today because he was doing a thing. And something to do with streaming, probably running a live stream or something. I didn't catch what it was. He does those things. He does. And
he does them very well too.
Yes,
I've seen him do it.
Yes, he does. And he goes all in when he does it. And final voice that you heard is the upgrade Cameron.
Hi ho.
There we go. and he's saying hi to host. So today we are going to have a lot of fun on the show. If you want to be a part of the show, text line once we get that computer up so Tim can read it, even though he didn't bring his glasses today, but he's closer to the computer. He can stick his face right up in there.
Oh,
I've got mine up here.
Okay, all right. So, or Odie could read them. There we go. I'm gonna
Hey,
leave
if
that.
that's what
I'm gonna
Odie
leave that
wants.
up. I'm gonna leave that up to Tim.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I can
I'll do some,
read.
you can do some.
So if you want to be a part of the show, text Flaccid to 71307. Get the thing started.
You know, I kind of wondered why there was a lot of flaccid on the screen.
Yes, that is. It requires description. It absolutely does.
It does.
So one of the OGs on the show. Well, first of all, let me tell you, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. So you can get us on Facebook at 98.9 WORD or the Upstate Pulse. You can get us on Twitch and Twitter at the Upstate Pulse. You can also get us on Twitter at 98.9 WORD and on YouTube. There we go. At 98.9 WORD or the Upstate Pulse. Or you can get me on my personal Facebook page and Twitter page, which is Lonzo on Word. But if you comment on those, I can't see it till later, so I'm not ignoring you. So the stream is going nuts. We got a ton of people on the stream. We're getting texts already, which is awesome. So we are going to have a good time with that.
Yep.
Let me explain to the flaccid thing. Okay, back in the day, we when we started this show,
That time way back when.
yes, back in the last century. No, it wasn't. No, actually, it wasn't in this century.
Back in the past, 10 years ago.
The
Back in 2009, I started talking like this.
Well, yeah. So LexCorp came to Chris and I, and LexCorp said, "You're doing a show on Saturday night." I was already doing a show on Saturday night, a sports show, but it stopped after football was over. So he wanted us to do a show, and Chris and I were like, "Okay, I liked having my summers off," and we're like, "Okay, let's come up with the one thing that he will say no to." So we went pop culture, went everything, sent him the thing. He's like, "Cool, you start next week." So, and that's what we've been doing ever since. So it was Chris and I originally, and a couple other people. And then one of those people was Angry Zach, who's on the stream right now, which I'll get to here in a minute. And then we brought in Patrick Brown, and that was the core right there. Well, Patrick Brown still doesn't like certain words, like flaccid. It bothered him.
Or moist.
Moist bothered him.
Oh,
there are some words that seepage for sure. Seepage really bothered. Also, you don't like that either. Okay.
Moist is a little bit, yeah.
So
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
because of that, we made sure every week we tried to come up with a word.
And say it at least once.
Yeah, to try to get him under the console. There are pictures of him under the console. I also made it a bit to try to make him throw up. He didn't like the smell of pork rinds, so we got
Dude, I just bought a pack.
yeah, so we made pork rinds.
I saw them and I was like, oh my god, I have to have.
That's
some
because we
pork
were talking
rinds.
about pork rinds on,
Yeah,
on
we were
Wednesday.
talking
Yeah.
about it.
So we made pork rinds in the microwave. You know, they have the kind that you make like popcorn.
Yeah.
So that's when the taste test started.
Ooh.
Was with that, and he didn't like that. So that's the reason why Flaccid began.
I gotta
And
tell you, the worst taste test that we've done so far, at least while I've been here, was the ranch ice cream.
Yeah, that was not-
Oh, no, that's still top.
yeah, it was not.
that was disgusting.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was as bad as you
As,
think,
as
Cody.
my 3-year-old son said at one time, disgusting.
Disgusting.
All right. Zach on the
It's very
stream
disgusting.
says moist flaccidity causes terrible seepage. It does. It does. It absolutely does. All right. So many things to get to, and we are going to get to. You know what? Let me just jump on the stream really quick. Steven
Go, bro.
says better late than never. Zach says having more fun than a few nerds should be allowed to have. Yeah, we're actually more than a few. We're whatever 4 is. I don't know what 4 is. Although, you know, Tim's too
We're a
cool to be on there.
quartet.
Yeah, a quartet of nerddom.
Cortege
Yes. Let's see. Zach says poor Flash probably going to lose around 300 million. I don't know if it'll make back what it cost. It cost 300 million to make, if I understand, and it'll make back, but it won't make any more than that. Zach says, new guy, what is your name? It doesn't matter what's your name. All right. So if you don't know who The Rock is, well, then you haven't watched movies lately. Let's see. Keegan says, so does Cam have to be Garfield and Odie? So Lonzo is Dave Arbuckle. Yeah, why?
Yeah,
I do
That's
like
me.
lasagna. So
Yes, well, I love lasagna. So Mark's shout out to Kid Flaccid. Keegan, it wasn't as far back as AM radio. We were on FM when we started this show. I was as far back as that though. Steven says Rob Brown loves ranch ice creams. Yeah, he didn't care for that either. All right, so there you go. We've talked about all that stuff. Here are the things we're talking about on the show. I already said all that. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take a break, and when we take that break, I'm gonna get Tim on the stream because you all miss him, and I don't blame you. That
Aw.
beautiful head of hair needs to be on screen.
Yes, it does.
Yes,
It
it
does.
absolutely does. So we're going to take our first break. I'm waiting for Odie to.
That's,
Pop the bed.
yeah.
It's cool though. It's cool.
It was bound to happen.
It's cool. All right, so play the bed first, then hit the thing.
Same as
It's the same way.
yeah,
Yeah.
fine.
I'll admit that was kind of funny how
Yeah,
that
it
was cut
was.
off though.
And no, he's
So-
not getting noob because he's new.
I know that.
I know you want, and I'll go over there and I'll see Zach going, he needs to be noobed. Do what? Well, you can unplug it from there, I guess, but then you won't have the screens. This is why it's a spare. This is my old computer.
I know. I should have brought mine. I just
You didn't know you'd be doing this.
running
I'm not blaming
around all day today, and I usually bring mine, and I didn't.
Chris, this is Odie. He's a new guy. No, Steven, I'm not going to noob him. I'm not going to do it.
There's a grace period.
There is a grace period. He knew he done wrong.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. Or
So-
we're still going out on the.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
okay.
talked during the commercials.
Did we ever
Yes.
fix why I can barely hear on the headphones on this?
No.
Okay, I'm doing the show without it then. I
That's
can't hear
fine.
with the
We're not
headphones
taking
on.
any calls. You're good. All right. So yeah, I don't noob people when they first start. So
You can.
from now on, if you hit that first, don't play the music. Just,
Okay.
just
okay,
let
okay,
it go.
I got you.
So then, for the most part, people don't know that there was a mistake. Tim
It's-
continuing to talk on the air while that kind of pointed out.
No, that's fair enough. I can do that.
And
So
as they say in radio, that happened 5 minutes ago. So let it
that
go.
happened 5 minutes ago. So on the rejoin, do I hit a bed on the rejoin?
All right. So the rejoin will have a movie clip in it.
So I hit the bed after the.
It will
movie.
say, "This is the Upstate Pulse."
We
or
don't
something like
need
that. When
that.
that play, then
We
you
don't
play the
need
music.
that. What
And
I
by the
need
way,
is this.
Don't run your music so high.
You think because Global Protect
bring it.
is not logged into?
Yeah,
that's
I
why
got you.
we're cutting
I
the
got you.
computer off? Because it's a VPN.
I don't know. That's not my bailiwick.
I was just asking if you thought.
He just wants to say.
I did really just want to say bailiwick.
It's a good
Bailiwick.
word. Really, I think it's one word. Bailiwick. One word or 2 words?
Stream, you tell us.
Nobody wants to look it up.
Well, I would love to.
I'll be honest. I don't even remember how to
There it was.
spell
There
it.
it is.
And I will admit, I heard it from Matthew Mercer. So
I've used bailiwick before, just a couple times. It's a big Chris Evans word.
it is one word.
No, I don't know if he's a Terminator or not.
I am.
I do not. He could be AI. We know my disdain for AI, so it's a good possibility that he is one of the overlords sent to undermine, subterfuge, all that kind of stuff. It's a possibility.
By the way, I think you missed the part where he said that he is.
Right. I heard him say it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tim the T-Man.
Tim the T-Man Timster. We can put it in there.
Yeah, but we need a Star Wars thing from you.
Oh,
Well,
hold
look,
on.
we can pretend we're the Brady Bunch. I can look over at Lanza.
Yeah. That's always the thing.
That's always what I think
Yes.
of whenever I see these. This is a story.
Oh my God, this thing's running so slow. All right, come on. Come on. There we go.
Tim, when did you become a swirly circle?
You're a swirly circle.
Why is it like that? That's weird.
Oh,
There he is.
we're gonna have Tim in
Oh,
stop
there he
motion.
is.
There
he is. We're gonna have
Tim.
There he is.
Moving?
There
Am
he
I like-
is.
Oh, there a little bit.
Oh, cool.
By the way, this is what 30 FPS looks like
Wait
sometimes.
for the
on-
Upstate Pulse. Wait for him to say
By the way,
Upstate
this
Pulse.
is what 30 FPS looks
Well, welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo here along with T2 and Cameron. and Odie. We're having fun on Saturday night. Hey, I know you guys are going crazy on the stream, and we're going to try to get to everything. Tim is from the dark side, by the way, and he knows that. He's it was acting sporadic, and now it's like delayed. It's cool. It really is cool. He's like Max Headroom, and I'm probably the only one who knows who that is.
I was just gonna
Do you know who Max Headroom is? Okay, all right. So I'm not alone there.
No.
It was a great show. It was way before its time when it came out.
Oh, it was.
Absolutely. All right, let us talk about Secret Invasion. Okay, if you haven't seen Secret Invasion yet, we have to spoil a little bit. It came out Wednesday. If you haven't watched it by now, I mean, you know, if Tim wants to leave the room, he can. But let's talk about Secret Invasion. And the first thing I want to talk about with Secret Invasion, if you don't know what it is Nick Fury, and it's about Skrulls taking over. And here's a problem that has caused the internet really, really to be upset. A lot of people were upset because of the intro. The intro is completely AI generated. And a lot of people are coming at Disney because, you know, the writer strike is going on right now. And one of the reasons why the writer strike is going on is because writers are upset that AI may be taking their jobs. And then what does Disney do? They come out and let AI do the intro for the show. And so there's a big backlash. People are still going to watch
I don't
it.
blame them for that.
People are still going to watch it, and they should. The intro is weird, but I mean, you know, I
think for this it kind of works.
I guess
I still don't like the fact they're using AI. I wish that. I don't know, because it's one of those things like it doesn't allow animators to perform their art.
Zach says Disney lost close to $900 million last year. They can't afford to pay animators. Well, that may be part of it. That, you know, the director said he thought it would be cool. He reached out to them. They did it, and that is, it's very odd looking. It takes us back to the argument that we've had before: is can AI create art? And the question is, you know,
Well, it can.
Well, I think if we break it down in itself, the uncanny valley of the intro sets the tone for the show.
Did you say the uncanny valley?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was just making sure I heard you right. Dude, that was profound. I mean, you know, I just wanted to make sure that I didn't mishear that.
But you get what I'm saying, right?
No, I absolutely understood that. I did, bro.
But yeah, because like it's.
Do they have bros in Ireland?
We do. We have a lot of bros.
Right, just checking. You might get a few of those questions because, you know, it's very rare that you get someone you can ask a question like that.
Do y'all have electricity in Ireland? Yes, we do. Yeah.
I was going to ask that. I mean, you know.
I got to ask this one girl if she has rednecks in Nepal, and she said yes. And that was a very interesting conversation in itself.
See, that's because we've had this conversation before that rednecks exist in every nationality and every language. I asked a Puerto Rican yesterday that question, and they actually have a name for them, which I can't remember, and I wouldn't repeat it anyway because he might know whether or not you get dumped.
Yeah, see, we'd call them culchies.
Okay,
and we call them culchies from the word agricultural. So you break it out of that, and it's kind of, you know, it's the type of guy that keeps his trousers or his breeches together with a bit of baling twine, and you know, he's kind of he'd take rabbits out and he'd eat, you know, stuff off the land without pasteurizing it and all that fun stuff. Probably eat squirrels as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that pretty much describes a lot of our listeners right now. So that's, I mean, it's okay.
I was thinking
by the way,
Tim,
have you ever ate squirrel before?
Have
you ever ate squirrel before?
I have not. I want to though.
I've ate squirrel before.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I'm from Ohio, so
yeah.
How was your squirrel cooked?
Stew.
Okay, I think that's how I had it too.
But there's not a lot of meat on a squirrel.
There's not unless you get a lot of squirrels. Yeah, I mean, you know, you can make up for it by Keegan, by the way, says that valley that Cameron was talking about is right next to Hidden Valley. There's probably a ranch there too. I don't know. There might be.
Is it close to Death Valley as well?
It's just
a series of valleys.
No. So back to Secret Invasion. The effects are really good on it, except for the intro. The story is pretty good. Man, I want to talk about the ending.
Yeah,
I do. And it came out Wednesday. I'm going to say this. A major character dies at the end of episode 1.
Ruined it.
Yeah, well, but do they though? It's a spy thriller, And because it's a spy thriller, you don't know.
It could be a
You know-
fake out.
You know, Fury died in, what was it? Was it Winter Soldier or was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. He supposedly died there, but he wasn't dead. He was actually being kept alive somewhere. So this show is supposed to be akin to Winter Soldier and the kind of spy thriller thing. So,
Because I mean, one of the typical like tropes of that, not really tropes, I guess, but story point a lot of times is like a major character will feign their death, so they're not being looked at, and then they can do stuff behind the scenes when they're not being watched.
yeah. Keegan says, "Am I a bad guy for being relieved? I find that character so annoying."
How dare you?
Yeah, you only like her because of How I Met Your Mother, and you can't get past that.
Look, I can have my biases.
No, you can. You absolutely can have your biases.
and I admit my biases.
or as some people say, biases.
Biases.
Yes,
Pisces.
biases.
What zodiac symbol is that?
one that I don't care about.
I think it has to do with loneliness. I'm not positive.
It's a lonely bison on a hillside.
All right, so
Pisces. I'm actually getting something about eating stuff on the text line.
all right.
We got you Irish have the worst taste in food. Just look at Rate My Plate page. Y'all will eat anything. I mean, this is coming from a guy that lives in a country that loves squirrels, as we just talked about earlier on. I know we eat blood pudding, and I'm not going to explain how that's made. It's
Oh
just-
no, you should absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay,
In
so-
excruciating detail.
Yes. Yes.
Blood pudding is made from pig's blood, dried pig's blood, mixed with barley and grain and some pork. You know, different parts of a pig that you don't ever want to see. But you put that onto a frying pan and you cook
Sounds
that
like a
up in the
crazy
morning.
party.
That is a crazy party. It's
All right.
kind of like haggis.
I got to tell you, having eaten haggis because I lost a bet. Yeah.
You don't need to lose a bet to eat haggis.
Well, in my case, it was not good because I had extreme gout at the time.
That's not good.
And I was not aware of what haggis
No.
would do to said gout.
Yes.
And
Bad
it was
things.
it was pretty bad. And the guy who made it for us forgot to tell us that he was going to do it en flambe.
Awful.
and-
way.
Yes, in a tent in downtown Greenville for Fall for Greenville, which is a festival.
Yeah.
And a ball of fire shot through up into and billowed off the sides of the tent. And we thought we were going to die. We didn't. And now after I ate it, I wish that I had died in that ball of flame.
Really?
Yeah, it was not good. It was not. I'll try just about any food.
Yeah.
So I was willing to, I lost a bet from this evil guy that used to be on the air here. And it's my fault. I lose bets all the time, unfortunately. And I
I don't
said,
do well with that.
I said, oh yeah, the only way I'll do it is if I do it live at Fall for Greenville. But actually, I just wanted to go to Fall for Greenville and get paid to go to Fall for, and it worked.
yeah.
But then,
Perks of the job.
yeah, I came home. And my wife said, "Are you okay?" Because I was so pale from eating the haggis. It affected me
Yeah.
because my body did not like it.
I think I remember that day too. Because
Yeah.
it's just like, Dad, are you okay? I was like 10 or something. Like this is a long, long time ago.
All right, Chris says, "I'll see your blood pudding and raise you a chitlin."
Oh, okay, Chris. You're gonna have to. I want Chris to actually reply to that and tell me what a chitlin is.
You don't know what chitlins are?
No.
Let me tell you, a chitlin is a cooked up intestine. So they take the intestines and they squeeze the poo out of the intestines.
All the way out of the intestine.
I'm telling you, sometimes you don't get all the poo out of there. 'Cause
No.
if you got some arthritis, you can't get the poo out of the intestine.
That's when you got.
You cook up the intestines, and that is what a chitlin is.
Pretty good too. They're done right.
It sounds like awful. Like no, it doesn't sound awful. It sounds
No,
like
I know what you're talking about.
awful.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of like that. So worked in a grocery store for a long time.
Oh, okay.
So I know
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know a lot of these products from them, like Souse and things like that. I don't know if you guys know what Souse is. Don't try it.
It just sounds like you're saying sauce
Yes,
in a
it's-
weird way.
No,
Can I
it's-
get some hot sauce, please?
Souse is it's a fused meat, and it's a meat product.
Fused meat.
Well,
Yeah.
there are a lot of
like
meats
hot
that are
dogs.
fused together.
Yeah,
That's
hot dogs are fused.
yeah. I mean,
Hot
Okay,
dogs.
so you
hot
mean
dogs
just
are
like-
yeah. Hot dogs are good.
I do have a question in this
Go for it.
for you, Odie,
Mm.
and this is for my friends at the Fan Upstate. By the way, I'm on the air there 9 to noon, Monday through Friday. Check it out. 97.1 in Greenville, 97.7 in Spartanburg.
Shameless plug.
Yes, no shame, no shame. What comes on it? If you order a hot dog in Ireland, what comes on it?
Probably just ketchup.
There we go. That's so here, if you order a hot dog, they put chili and onions on it. That is a chili dog.
That's it.
And so
Yeah.
and so they're giving you the chili for free when they should be charging you for the chili dog. It's just
All right, Mr. Krabs.
Now I heard about this before, that a chili dog is just chili.
no,
So
it's
you got
not.
the
It's
bun.
not. It's not. That's some weird Southern thing.
Okay, we got
not,
to open the text line.
Yeah, it's not. A chili dog is a hot dog that they put chili on. This
Yeah.
is the way the people around here, especially certain restaurant owners, that we know, this is how they justify giving stuff for free, because they're giving away free chili.
Would you put pineapple on a hot dog?
I consider a hot dog like nachos. I'll try just about anything. Yeah, I don't care.
Put a steak on it.
Well,
It's like
no,
a blank canvas of food.
Yeah, no, because it's a big thing in Australia. I was out there for a year, and it's, you get a hot dog,
Mhm.
and you can get, like, you obviously put the cheese onto it, and they put the ketchup and mustard, and then they just cover it in pineapple. And when I saw them doing it, I was like, no, don't do that.
That is, I've never heard that before.
It was awesome.
It's-
You got to try it. I
sounds
introduced my wife is from she's from around here. She's from Georgia, and I made hot dogs one night, and she saw me putting on the pineapple, and she was like, "Odie, what are you doing?" I was like, "You got to try this." She tried it, and she was like, "There's a reason I love you."
All right. So I think we now have a new taste test. I think we got to try that. I think we got Tim. You down for it?
I'm totally down. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're gonna have to do that.
Pineapple dogs.
Keegan says pineapple on pizza. Yes. Hot dog. I'd try it. Okay. There you go.
So there you go. Thanks, Keegan.
For some reason, I'm making my wife mad. I don't know what I did. I must have been talking about the chitlins. Oh no, it's a hot dog thing. Okay.
Oh, sorry, Lonzo's wife.
Yeah, and in Ohio, when you order a hot dog, you get a hot dog. If you order a chili dog,
You get chili.
you get chili. It's that way
Oh,
everywhere
yeah,
except for
yeah,
here.
That's true.
It's that way everywhere except for here. Couple other things before we go to our next break. Into the Spider-Verse or whichever Spider-Verse movie that's out now.
Across
Across the Spider-Verse. Matthew said it was one of the best movies he's ever seen. We haven't seen it. The reason why I haven't watched it, and I explained this last week, is I don't like the art style. The art style bothers me, and if I don't like the art style, it's going to mess with the story for me. And I saw the first one, bits and pieces at home, but I couldn't get past how Kingpin looked. I mean, Spider-Man looks fine and all that kind of stuff, but the villains it just doesn't look right to me. I don't like the art style.
it's a cartoon.
Yeah,
So why wouldn't they look cartoony?
And
There-
which version is this?
It's the one with Miles Morales in it. And so there are video games that I won't play because I don't like the art style, like Borderlands
I don't understand.
1 and 2. I
Yeah.
don't like the art style, so I'm not going to play it.
That's fair enough.
It's my choice.
Yeah, but you like what you
I
like.
get it,
Yeah, you do.
But like, I
So-
don't get it.
The reason why I'm bringing this up is there are more than one version of the Spider-Verse out there. So they release multiple versions of it, and people are just starting to notice.
Okay.
Dialogue's a little bit different. The endings are the same, as my understanding. This is the first time I've ever heard this happen, where a movie is released with different versions all over the place.
Okay.
Well, there's only 2 versions, and it has been confirmed that that has happened. Let's see. Keegan says the second one is better. You'd like for the references alone. Probably if I could get past the artwork. I don't know why you guys don't get it. I mean, if I don't like the art, I'm gonna continually go, man, that's bad. I don't like that. I don't like that. So if you're continuing in your mind critiquing something, then you can't enjoy or appreciate anything else that's going on there.
So what about
So I
the
don't
art
like
do you?
Yeah,
I don't
but
like
so,
s-
what about older like?
I don't like cell shading. I do not like cell shading in video games, which might be one of the reasons why I don't like Zelda very much.
Do you know I've
because-
never played Zelda?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
a game for kids, and that's fine. Kids got to have games too.
Yeah, but I was a kid when it came out.
I haven't
okay.
played well, no, I take that back. I did play one of the Zeldas on Nintendo Switch, but other than that, I haven't played Zelda since I was little.
All right, we're going to get to video games and some other things right now. We're just, as they say, riffing. because, you know, we got a new guy in the room and we're getting perspectives and stuff from him. And as well as you, if you want to be a part of the show, text line 71307 or hit us up on the stream where everybody's just going crazy and we're having fun. It's a Saturday night. You are listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. Zach, calm down.
Wouldn't want to make you.
Did you want a break there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that's where it was going, kind of. I want to say a big hello to Aaron as well, because Aaron is the only YouTube streamer right now. And I'm going to call him Aaron. I have to.
That's fine. We get people from all over the place. We're good with it.
Well, no, he's on the text line.
Oh, on text line. Okay. What's the furthest away we've had someone on Twitch?
There was like one from Norway, the other
Yeah,
one
Norway.
from
Nervy.
Yeah, and we had a dude from England on.
yeah.
Maybe he was from England. He said he was from England. He kept was hitting on birds, and the birds didn't want to have any. Yeah. You know, I'd heard in movies that they call them that, but I didn't know if that was real or not.
Oh, you guys really do that?
Yeah.
You see,
Do they call women birds in Ireland?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Bird.
Yeah.
Keegan got it right. Keegan said is Odie the Viking.
This is because
They're
of the
funny
accent?
as hell, man. They are. They're. Odie, may the force be with you. Thanks, Stephen. They can all hear us.
Yes.
Stephen, thank you very much, Stephen. I appreciate that.
So when we first started
Live
doing
long and
this,
prosper.
one of the things that we wanted to do is have conversations during the break, because some of the and Zach can attest to this, some of the funniest stuff we were doing was during the break, and then we come back on the air and it was
also, it doesn't matter what we say, kind of. Well, it does.
It does.
Roughly,
Yeah.
Just have
also
fun.
some things you can say at other stations you can't say on this one.
Yeah,
We also got to consider different audiences in different parts of the building.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it started from. That most shows like Charlie's show and Tara's show, when they go to break, they stop.
Yeah.
But this is a chance to actually
We just keep going and
just
talk
talk to the people on the stream.
Do you see Christopher there? He's asking, are you sure he's not the Terminator, the T-800? Yeah, I'll take a compliment from that.
Well,
These guys are pretty
you got
cool.
T2 over there, so I
That's
mean,
the-
you
yeah.
know.
Lonzo,
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, it's dead.
wow. Zach said that you're an elitist gamer.
Yeah. I've
If
already
it makes you
addressed
feel
that.
any better, Zach, I played Breath of the Wild on vacation.
I did want to play that. I haven't gotten to play that.
It is a
yet.
good game.
Zach, I don't
Yeah.
care if you feel better. I have no desire to play Zelda. I mean, you know, I have a Switch. I just don't play Zelda on it. I mean, you know.
I have 2 Switches actually.
I
On
just
and
have
off?
an Xbox.
No, I
That's
know
it.
I have
That's
the
all I
Switch
have.
Lite for my daughter, and then the regular Switch.
Yeah, I wish I got a regular Switch. I got the Switch Lite, and then my eyes went bad. So, and the Switch Lite
Hey,
screen
my
is a
eyes
little
are
bit.
shot.
It's a little bit.
I don't know. I just
No, so
imagine
I
like
got to
your
put my
eyes
glasses
went
on, which I do wear glasses to read small print.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Yeah, it was just the end of the thing. Yeah.
Well,
We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about 007.
007.
Yes.
When
The best 007. You have to talk
No,
about who is
well,
the best.
just wait.
Okay.
We're talking
007,
007.
like the old 007, or like what?
You know what? It's called a tease. That's
Ooh.
what a tease is
Well, I
for.
just wanted
We
to
do a lot of
I probably
teasing
should have
here.
did it on the air, but I'm doing it kind of on the air. I'm teasing. So that's what we're gonna talk about when we come back.
Love the way Keegan says, obviously OD1 Kenobi. How is it obviously? I know.
Well, it was obvious to you when you wrote it
Hey, don't be
down.
coming at Keegan like that,
No,
Odie.
Keegan.
I
Keegan
mean,
is
you know.
Keegan is he's an upstanding citizen by the looks of things.
Keegan is an awesome dude.
Well, that's. I
I've
mean,
met him several times, and he's a heck of a photographer.
oh,
And if you would
Oh,
like
I'd
some
to-
pictures
I'd
done,
like to see it.
if you want some stuff done, Keegan's got you.
Keegan, are you
You
a
have to
Canon?
pay for it,
Well, no.
but he's got you.
I want to know: is Keegan he a Canon guy? Keegan, are you a Canon guy or are you a Nikon guy?
All right, play the music now. All right, welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Every time I hear Gunther say he wants to chop me, it hurts because man, that would hurt.
You know,
And-
I thought I saw a tall Austrian like circling the building earlier.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, if he's here, he's about the same height as is a little bit taller than me and Rob. But he
Still technically.
when he was live in studio, I tried to get him to chop Rob, and he can't. His handler, you know, they always have someone with them, an agent or something. It's like no, because of lawsuits, they can't just walk up and put a wrestling move on someone or something. And you know, that's unfortunate, but I get it
because they're big and they can hurt people.
But so that particular rejoin was written by LexCorp because he thought it was funny, the idea of Gunther chopping me. I still don't think that's funny, and but he's the boss. So there's
I
that.
think you could take one.
Being a fly on the wall just
I
to see
have
that.
no interest at all. I would rather be body slammed than chopped by Gunther. Speaking of which, you know, our wrestling people are not here anymore. So if you have any wrestling questions or something you want to talk about wrestling, hit us up on the stream and or on the text line, and I will talk about that. Absolutely, because a lot of stuff going on in wrestling right now. All right, so let's talk a little 007, including it was just pointed out that someone was too young or they may have gotten the job. And that would be Henry Cavill. So Henry Cavill's, it was down to him and Daniel Craig, according to, and they went with Daniel Craig because Daniel Craig was older. They didn't want a younger 007. Henry Cavill was 23 at the time, so he was too young. They said he had to look as far as chiseled.
Yeah.
He's got everything.
He was dreamy.
Yeah, and if you saw him in Mission Impossible, he can pull off the spy thing, and for sure, when he
Hold on, don't tell me Henry Cavill
Superman, yes,
was in. Yeah, no. He was in Mission Impossible.
You haven't seen that one? Oh, you got to watch that one.
Yeah, that
great.
one's pretty good.
It was really
I
good.
haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I forget which one it was. There's been so many, and there's a new one coming out in a couple weeks. But yeah, it's he does this thing where it's like he gets in a fight with Tom Cruise. He does this thing where he's loading his arms. He's
actually helping Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
Look, you've had me.
Yeah, it's really good. It really is. Actually, that was out almost 5 years ago. Actually, it was 5 years ago. Because we went to see it in New Jersey when my granddaughter was born.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's how I know, because she's getting ready to turn 5. So
that's 5 years ago.
Yes, it was. Zach says Fallout. It was the last one.
Fallout was the last one.
So
yeah, see, I was moving over. I was getting set up over here in America.
You should check it out. So
I will.
So anyway, so Keegan says, how old is he now? Daniel Craig is out. I want Idris Elba or Henry Cavill. Idris Elba's too old. And according to the story, when you sign on to a Bond film, you sign on for 3.
Yeah.
So you've got to be 6 to 8 years. So Henry Cavill, I believe, it's in the story. He is 40. He is 40 now, which they're saying they're going to go in a different direction, which has a lot of people worried that 007 is going to be female or something else. But they've also said that's not going to happen.
Yeah, James Bond.
It's not going to happen. So is he too old now? So has he just completely missed the window by being 40? I don't think so.
Craig was pretty old when he started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he still looks pretty young. I'm talking about Henry Cavill for 40. He looks pretty young. And I just want to throw this out there. All right. Witcher 3 getting ready to happen next week. We're going to talk about that coming up. This is his last season as a Witcher. He's leaving. He's because of creative differences and everything. Just around the time when they're looking for a new 007. I'm just saying.
And they put out the information that he had a really good audition.
Yeah, and suddenly, he had a good audition. Keegan says he'd be the same kind of age range as Sean Connery, wouldn't he? I think so. I think generally they're 30s to 40s. And I doubt they're going to go. I hope he gets it. I wouldn't have a problem with Idris Elba being, but he's a lot older than you think. I think he's in his 50s.
He is 50.
Yeah.
I can look. You got him there?
Yeah, I already checked it.
Yeah,
he is 50.
Yeah, so I mean, he doesn't look it either.
It's like a 45-year-old Idris Elba would be perfect.
Yes. So we're gonna see what happens with that. Henry Cavill has been in every major franchise. It's like he decided,
Yeah,
hey,
dude.
I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this.
I also
And
think he's working on Warhammer next. or
Yeah,
something
well,
like
he's
that.
Gotta be
been-
that jawline, man.
it's
Yeah,
got to be.
Gotta be.
And,
He's just handsome. He's just
and to
yeah.
me, he's still the best Superman. And
he was
I
good.
know
I thought
Christopher
he was a good
Reeve.
Superman too. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed him.
So we're going to see what's done with the new Superman when that comes out. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, let's talk some Combat Dolphins, because
Combat Dolphins.
Combat
Dude.
Dolphins.
That's awesome.
You are listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Dude, I don't know if he's in D&D though. He's really big into like Warhammer and tabletop like that, so I don't know if it would be that much of a stretch. Get him over to Joe Manganiello's crib, and we can have the Duke and King of Nerds playing some D&D.
I was just looking here as well. They're saying that Aaron Taylor Johnson, he
Can I
could
adjust the
possibly be
light?
the new
Yeah,
He's British.
Henry Golding. How do I know the name Henry Golding?
Can I
What
adjust
else
the
sounds
lights?
familiar?
do it
Can I adjust the lights?
Yeah.
to what?
To dim them out a little bit more.
Yeah, he's the one who did it. I had him dimmer.
He just wants spotlight on me.
mean, he's putting down shades, all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
He's going to judge by your pail.
Camera, go right in front of the microphone.
Yeah.
I can't see Henry Golding doing it.
Oh, the guy. From
I'm not offended by
Florida.
him going by my pail because that's
Yes,
a good
it's a
metric.
good judge. The pail of the Cameron. Cameron is getting darker.
Cameron
That's
just looks like a head floating.
yeah, that's the thing.
That's good.
There we go.
Tim is still at the door. Oh no, he's leaving now. Yeah.
Yes, Keegan, that is a guy from Bullet Train.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
Tangerine.
I
that's what
still
it
look
was.
like I'm like glowing.
Be careful.
The whole thing will come down. Man.
No, they're really hard to move. When we first got in this building, we had
Now
some
I'm
bigger,
blind. I
thicker
can't see
monitors,
anything.
and the host moved the
Would you like me to
monitors up,
guide you?
and it was against
Like,
those
only
lights.
your
And
glasses
I was in
and,
that
like,
room
the shape
producing
of
at the
your
time. And he's like, I smell smoke. I'm like, okay. And I came in the room, and he had pushed it up to those lights, and it melded the top of the monitor. And I'm like,
By the way, Keegan
That's
said
why-
that
Oh,
he
that's
was
not
a
good.
Canon guy in reference to your question about the
It was a
cameras.
very
which-
passionate
He's
response.
a Canon guy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, no, I saw
like
that.
Canons.
Yeah,
and,
I use Canon. I don't
'cause
like.
I do videography. I like Canons for that, but I also like the Sony ones as well.
Yeah, no, I use a Canon 5D, and I just
Yeah, I have an
it's the Mark IV.
A6400 that I shoot weddings with.
That's pretty cool.
wow, I don't know what language they're speaking. This
We're
is
talking
weird.
about cameras. You don't
We're
think to do it.
Yeah, I
Click,
don't-
click, click. Tell you what.
Okay. All right.
Thanks for the recognition. That's okay, Aaron.
The only, if we have more text, just let me know, because I don't have it up over here.
Let's talk liver mush. I don't really want to know what liver mush is. A lot of people said let's talk liver mush.
It's souse, according to the text below that.
Liver mush is, I know we used to get it in like sausage tubes.
Oh, I thought that's
And
what
it-
happens when you hit
and-
somebody really hard with
and
a
it-
hammer.
Well, if you hit someone with liver
Fancy
mush,
picture
it'd be like
takers.
hitting them with a hammer. It's,
Oh, right,
it's the
okay.
equivalent. It's pretty. It's weighty. It's very weighty.
Fancy picture takers. We're not fancy picture takers, man.
You know, back in the day, people used every
I'm
part
not
of
a
the
fancy
animal
picture taker,
because
I just
you know
fancy picture
you needed
takers.
to.
I have taken some fancy pictures. I've taken some interesting pictures. People have asked me to take photographs, and then
I don't
clothes
take
fell
pictures.
off.
I just model. You know, I mean, yeah, I mean,
You're a beautiful
the,
man.
the camera loves me,
Yeah.
obviously, and you know, I am taking bookings, but you'll have to deal with my people.
My people call my
Yeah, my people are pretty hard to get past to.
Daggum right we
there
are.
we are. There's my people right there.
Can't tell you how many people I've had to throw out. Last one was
Yeah,
on a
Keegan,
train.
my
Still don't know
Sony-
if he landed in that lake
My
or not.
Sony is awesome. I love it. At least for video, because it shoots in 4K. if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing with shooting 4K, it just takes up so much.
That's the
Memory.
biggest problem.
I'll get with you, Keegan.
I wish I could link it to a drive. That would be awesome.
What is that?
What?
I know every time we play that rejoin, everybody's just so happy about it. It's like the end of the world on Billy and Mandy because she
Yeah.
smiled, but everyone is so happy about it. It's just,
Want to hold you tight and never let
it's
go.
what a great show that was.
It's one of those things that like you do catastrophe in such a funny way.
And
Like,
I-
like all that crap is happening, and then like some lady's head turns into a turnip.
Well, I forget what streaming service has it now, but as soon as we found out it was, I went directly and found that episode and watched that episode.
Yes.
Yes. But they took out the last part where Erwin's trying to get the belt off. They always
Because they
take
switch
that
over
off.
to Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah,
like,
it was. I mean, where he's trying to get this thing off, yo, and it's just amazing.
which is a really good question. Is like, how thin was Mojo Jojo's waist?
This is pretty,
Mojo Jojo.
It's pretty thin. It's pretty thin.
You can't hear the name Mojo Jojo without going
Yes.
Mojo Jojo.
I'm glad I got that. I'm
Yeah,
glad I
and-
got that in stereo.
And anyone who talks that way when they're doing something, okay, I need to do this, and then I need to do this, and let's say someone who's sending video to LexCorp, like maybe yesterday, may have sounded like Mojo. He's not even paying attention.
No, he's
No.
I was reading
Yeah.
something.
Okay. All right.
I thought you were just staring
Yeah,
at yourself. just going, "Man, that
Multitasking
looks
is
so
it's a
good."
talent. It's
Yeah.
not can't necessarily be taught. All right. Speaking of, one of the things we do here, or one of the things that I do here, I ask people to contribute. And they
We do
just
things here?
don't. Yes. Things. We do things. That's
What
what we
kind of
do.
things?
Yeah.
Things.
Things.
When did this
That's what we do. We do
I do this and
we do
ting.
things.
Hear me now.
Is I see something that catches my eye, like Russia stepping up security at Black Sea base with spy dolphins, says UK intelligence. So we're not going to go into the war and all that kind of stuff, but spy dolphins, man,
Yeah, dude.
spy dolphins. And my
I
first
always knew they were going to betray us.
was it Dr. Evil
Never
who wanted to
trust
put
dolphins.
was it Dr. Evil who wanted to put lasers on dolphins? I
No,
can't remember.
on
I just want laser beams.
Yeah, there we go.
sharks with freaking laser
Yeah, there we
beams.
go. There we go. So you see that sort of thing, and you're like, okay, all right. So, and we know that dolphins are very smart, or we've heard that they're very smart. I don't know that any of us have interactions with dolphins before. I petted a dolphin before
Yeah.
at SeaWorld, but SeaWorld in Ohio, I still don't understand that because
I've
it's so
seen
far
one.
away from
I have had interactions with wild dolphins when surfing off the coast of Ireland.
Oh, now he's a surfer. Really? Really? Now he's a
He's everything.
surfer. I mean,
He's
this dude's done.
Hey, dude,
everything.
I was totally ratting some 9 waves, and all of a sudden these dolphins came along, and they were like, "Hey, dude," and I was like, "Oh, hey, dude," and then they just went away swimming.
Hey,
It
not
was so
bad.
cool, man.
All right. So now I got to ask this question.
Okay,
So we talked about rednecks in
totally hanging
Ireland.
10,
We
man.
talk about rednecks in Ireland. So are there surfer bros in Ireland?
Oh, totally, man. We're right on the edge of the Atlantic, man, and you get the best waves come in. I mean, we get 95 footers. Well,
Yeah,
maybe
man.
5 or
All
6
right,
footers.
why,
but-
what's your levels? You sound like you're over.
I'm
you
got a bit
You might
loud,
want to
man.
back yourself off just a little.
Out in California, we talk loud, man.
All right, so yeah, that's for sure. So seriously,
Yeah, no. we do.
is there surfer lingo?
Yeah, no, there really is good surf. Yeah, I mean, there's
No,
nothing.
I'm talking about the lingo. I don't doubt that there's good surf, but
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
you could hang 10, and you could, you'd mess up your
do they
sex
really
wax and-
talk like that? They're from
Oh, totally,
California.
man. You totally
Okay.
do.
All right, so I don't know if he's being serious or not, and I just want to.
Can you imagine an Irish guy saying, "Oh yeah, I was totally hanging 10 there now. I was going out into the big waves, and it was absolutely amazing."
See, you're the only
Well,
one
you
who
just did that.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I mean,
yes,
so
yes, we
yeah,
can.
so, I
So
mean,
yeah,
now-
you could.
We now have the metric for that.
yes. So how do Irish surfers talk?
Are you going surfing later on? I will. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right. Are you driving or am I? Asher, you can drive. Right. Okay. Go on, so. There's some really good waves down in Cork this weekend, and there's some good waves up in Sligo. But you're after that, I don't know. Like,
All right, say it in a different language.
No.
I don't, are you just assuming he knows Gaelic or something like
He
that?
does know a different language.
He
I was just
does.
seeing if I could get him to do it or
No,
not.
I
That's all.
don't. I
Okay,
don't.
all right. The only bad part is when someone speaks in a different language, you don't know if they're saying something they shouldn't say or not.
Yeah.
Well,
the
if he
F-
dumps
the
himself, then we
FCC
would know.
The FCC will come out knocking on the door straight away.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure they have monitored. Well, they probably do. They know
Odie, you're
everything.
fired.
So anyway, there actually are spy dolphins. So according to the story,
Spy dolphins.
Yeah, in the Black Sea.
All right, here's what we do. We get ourselves some whales.
Whales,
Big old whales.
bicycle whales or truck whales?
Truck whales.
The heck's a truck whale?
I don't know either, but I'm picking an option.
All right, Keegan wants to know if you speak Welsh.
No, nobody speaks Welsh. Even the Welsh don't speak Welsh. I have a Welsh accent, though I can do it like Anthony Hopkins. Ever so slightly.
See, it's just, I mean...
One thing, when you want to speak Welsh, you say take off your pants and jacket.
Is that how that works? Okay, so we just don't mind just sitting back and
why are you just leaving a shirt on?
All right, we only got a couple minutes before the top of the hour. Odie told us something before the break or before the show, and he's like, "We're not going to talk about that, are we?" And there's a reason why. There's a question up on my board behind me, and this is amazing to me because I believe that, if I were born in a different age, I would be a Viking. So, when Cameron describes me to, his friends,
it's a Viking.
Yeah. Which is fine. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I would think that I had reached the age where, I'd be a Viking lord, but that's just me.
I say Viking chieftain.
Okay. Well, yeah. Chieftain
or lord, or
I
don't know how their hierarchy.
I like
chieftain.
Yeah.
I'd go with chieftain. Yeah.
All right.
Because it's more of a tribal society.
All right. So this is going to wow and amaze the audience because we're all into this stuff. That's the reason why they're listening. He was actually in the show Vikings.
I was killed 11 times.
Why'd you keep getting back up?
I'm one of those. I'm Irish. We're stubborn.
All right. So he tells us before we go in the air that he rode horses and was a sword fighter.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of stunt work. I've done horse riding, and the reason I stopped doing it is I had a pretty bad fall on a beach in the southeast of Ireland. And I know you're saying, well, you fell on a beach and it can't be that bad, but we were the English garrison charging the Vikings that were just after landing on the beach. And something happened. The horse I was riding, I was in full armor at the time. I had my sword up in the air and I fell and my sword ended up just along here somewhere.
All right, for radio, it's like his ribs.
Under my armpit.
Yeah.
And it messed me up pretty bad. My wife rides horses now. My wife over here in America rides horses. And she's been trying to get me up on horses, but I kind of have a fear because the last time I was on one, I broke about 16 bones.
I fell off a horse once.
See, that's a perfectly understandable fear.
Yeah, horses won't let me near them. So, I mean, because it's like you ain't getting up there anyway.
And birds
it's like Men in Tights.
Birds are not real. But so this is an awesome. By the way, watch your clock, 58:50.
Oh yeah,
just making sure.
Okay.
So that's really cool, man, because not everyone's got to do that. And the first thing I asked him is if he knew who Adam Copeland was.
Okay, we're gonna take this one.
Well, it's music, so you're good. So you can just go ahead and hit it at 58:50.
I feel like he's trying to
do stuff, and then we're
So I asked him if he knew who Adam Copeland was, and he did not. And Adam Copeland is Edge, and Edge was in Vikings. And after he saw the picture, he knew who it was.
Yeah.
So
talk to him.
So there, you actually had discussions with him. I didn't know who he was. Just thought he was just another dude.
Not a clue.
Okay. All right. You are listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD. When we come back, we're talking some video games. We're talking Elon versus Zuck. Who's going to win? Elon or Mark Zuckerberg? You are listening to the Upstate Pulse. By the way, we're live during the top of the hour news.
Yeah.
All right, and that'll roll right into the ID if you hit it at 58:50. You didn't.
I hit it at 58. I could probably fire the ID.
Yeah, fire
now.
one.
Yeah, go ahead. Good. All right. And bring up Fox.
You guys talk about this like you're like on a submarine, like firing torpedoes.
Well, it's kind of like being you probably shouldn't talk about submarines this week.
Yeah.
I really have not looked at news all that much.
It's very insensitive, man. I can't believe you.
Well, it's
You're
not
not one of those
insensitive,
people
but-
sending out all those memes, are you? Those people are
Dude, man,
cruel.
those
They're
people
so
are
mean.
disgusting, bro. Yeah, dude, I seen one.
You don't know about the implosion.
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, that's nasty.
A submarine that was sightseeing submarine. Like go down to
Yeah.
the Titanic, imploded. It was on news
Oh,
all over
God.
the place, and yeah.
I need to say James Bond
That
being
sucks.
top tier, good looking, never made any sense. Yeah, why is James Bond such a good looking guy? If his business is espionage, going unnoticed is pretty freaking important.
All right, when we come back, let's read
Yeah, but
text.
the thing with that is, as well, is why James Bond, everybody knew that he drinks a vodka martini and that his code name is 007. Yeah.
High society people need to look like they're high society. If he's blending into espionage, kind of, rich people taking over, he's not going to go in as like ugly dude.
Yeah,
Also,
no.
good looks
Yeah.
are able to seduce certain targets.
Yes,
I know.
and we'll get you in places that. Yeah, see, there you go. And ugly won't get
That's
you
how
in
you
anywhere.
met your wife.
That's how I met your mom.
How I Met Your Mother turns out to be a spy flick.
Christopher just says, I used to be a stuntman, but then I took an arrow to the knee.
Right. We appreciate all Skyrim references.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Keegan,
Mudcrabs.
Titanic
terrible
is
creatures.
also on Paramount Plus right now.
Is it?
It is.
Why do you
Ah.
guys care where it's? Are you actually going to go watch it?
We just had this conversation a few
Yeah.
weeks ago.
Yeah, about Titanic.
Yeah,
I don't recall having a conversation about
my
Titanic.
wife is really into the Titanic.
No, I
and
don't.
she was
I don't recall
talking
being a
about
part
it.
of that.
So I fire at 5.
Maybe I
after
was on.
Christmas.
Oh, it might have been a Charlie show.
Yeah.
My wife.
Yeah, me and Charlie look a lot alike, so I can see
Me
why
and
you
wife-
would get
Me and
confused.
my wife is a huge Titanic like history buff,
Near
and she was talking about it with the kids one day.
wherever you are, I know my heart will go on.
Anyways, they wanted to watch it.
We can do the post, Tim.
Open the door.
He knows the words.
It
huh?
could be wrong.
He knows the words.
I will.
As sad as I did know the words of that song. That's only because
It hurts you a little bit inside that we did that.
Oh, Mark, come
I
on,
thought it was
seriously.
funny, actually.
Mark's just after saying, spoiler alert, the boat sinks. What?
I'm just curious. I
no
mean,
point
I did
watching it.
watch it when it came out. I can't remember if someone was actually rearranging the deck chairs. I mean, it should have, you haven't heard the.
oh, you're
Oh,
talking about
that-
the conspiracies?
No. It's rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. It's a saying because it's still
Oh.
going to crash. I don't
Yeah.
recall if anyone actually did that.
There's two things
How
I
did you
really
use that
liked about
saying?
that film when I was 15 when I watched it.
Sorry, I just saw something that Keegan said. The song charted again, number 12 in the country this week. That's just, dude. That's
wrong.
That's just wrong. What is the matter with people?
Y'all mock and laugh at James Cameron. Laughed all the way to the bank. He did laugh all the way to the bank. And Celine Dion, I like Celine Dion.
I don't dislike Celine Dion. She's odd looking and from Canada. That
She's
to
a
me is a
Canadian
problem.
treasure, eh?
But
I was very disappointed when I found out that Canadians don't actually say A.
well, some of them do.
Some do.
Yeah,
I work with a couple of Canadians and kind of said it to them.
yeah, but are they Americanized now? I mean, maybe they used to say A lot, and now they've just gotten rid of
Yeah.
it because they got tired of getting made fun of.
Maybe.
I used to have a lot of
Maybe
fun.
they secretly have Mountie costumes at home in their closet. It's possible. You never know. Go home, put it on, just look at yourself in the mirror every once in a while.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I sleep all night and I
Zach
work all
says
day.
there are crazy conspiracy theories about the Titanic that are interesting.
Yes, there are.
Well, the only one that there really is that the I think it's the Olympia or the Olympia, one of the two, sank instead of the Titanic. But either way, a boat sank and a bunch of people died. So that
Hey.
pretty much sums it up.
Okay, they stopped talking. That wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
I just heard silence.
Did you enjoy the silence?
No, I did not enjoy the silence. Canadian rednecks say hey. They probably do. They probably do, Mark. You're
That's
probably
right.
Is that when they go and talk to a few moose and walk down Saskatoon Main Road, eh?
See, I just, you watch Bob and Doug McKenzie and you think that's how every one of them talk.
Are they the two guys that done the voice for the two moose in Brother Bear?
I think they did. I
Yeah.
think, but they had their own show. They were off of the Canadian version of Actually, one of them was Rick Moranis, who's in Spaceballs.
Rick
and,
Moranis.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the other guy, I forget his name, but he was in a ton of stuff too.
I see something starts with T. It's a tree, eh?
Yeah. They had an album, an actual album, comedy album that my cousin had. And on the jacket, if you played it, you could read. They would say something, and you would read what it said. It was like you were having the conversation with them. It was amazing. It was awesome.
Cool.
Entire PA by myself. I thought personal assistants were usually pretty light. Nobody in my family can like lift those.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo and T2 and Cameron and Odie in the house. Dave Thomas, thank you, Mark Avery. I appreciate that. All right, so we're playing the third hour nerd hour music. And again, this is only hour number 2, and it should be hour number 3. It's about that time. Monday or so, I will venture down to LexCorp and ask again for hour number 3.
I'll go with you.
I will do that. I will ask for hour number 3. And we'll see what happens. He seems to be a little more receptive now about maybe giving us our third hour back. It's a possibility. And, on days like today, where we barely touched anything because we're just going all over the place, we could use that third hour to also barely touch anything. So, yes. All right. Text line 71307. We do have some texts.
We do. We have, let me just scroll down here onto them. I need to say James Bond being top tier, good looking, never made any sense to me. When your business is espionage, going unnoticed is pretty important.
All right, hiding in plain sight is also, and if a lot of the espionage goes in high society places, you need to send someone who looks like they belong in a high society place.
Yes,
So I get why they're doing that. If you're sending someone to the slums, well, you find someone who looks like they belong in the slums.
Like me. You didn't want to say it,
You
but
need to have more
Yeah,
self-esteem.
It's your first day on the show. Now, after the third week, we might go there.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Do we have any more texts?
We had Aaron. He got back onto us. He said, "Thanks for the recognition, my brother. Pure Irish immigrants on my mother's side. And yes, I get called Aaron frequently. So he's going to just keep getting called Aaron." And we had a texter in saying, "Sing an Irish sea shanty, do the Whaler Man." Well, you asked for it, so no.
Oh, man. I feel cheated. I feel gypped. I was ready. We were all bracing.
I'll bring out the lyrics. We'll sing it together.
That's a tease right there.
Yes.
I don't know if I know. I know a song about boats. Will that do?
Yeah.
Is it by Andy Samberg?
If it's not a shanty, then no, it won't. It won't do.
Well, it's in Irish, so I don't think he'd know what it means. But
well, yeah, that's again a concern about what we
I
talked
only
about
know
earlier.
one, and I don't know all the words to it. So.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, we're not pirates.
Well, we're just,
Well,
but we are gamers, and most gamers who play Black Flag love shanties, and that's
that
why
really brought that into the public eye.
Did any of y'all just like go around in the boat, drive around the boat,
Yes.
just listening to the sea shanties?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, everyone did that.
I think everybody did that. That's
Yeah.
a universal
Of course I
thing.
did.
It was an amazing
Also-
thing.
Especially when I had a long distance to go. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna
Also,
listen to
one
some
of my
music.
You go around the long way.
One of my favorite bits of voice lines is like the guy in the crow's nest just going, "These eyes."
Yeah, every time you make a mistake. Yeah.
You know who started playing that?
It's just like, calm
Skylar.
down, Ted.
Skylar's
It's
been
not that
playing
big of a
Yes.
mistake.
So Tim's son is playing it. Good,
Yeah.
good. He'll have fun with it.
Oh yeah, he's been killing it lately.
Keegan says boats and hoes.
Boats and hoes.
You mean ho-hos? You know,
Ho-hos.
love ho-hos. Those chocolatey goodness.
They're good Pokemon too.
Yeah. Are they?
Yeah, there's a Ho-Ho is like a mythical Pokemon.
It is?
Yes.
Mm.
If Matthew was here,
There's
he'd be able to
Ho
confirm.
Pokemons?
Yes.
So I don't know. All right. So it came out yesterday that Elon has challenged Mark Zuckerberg to a cage fight. And it started out as kind of, Zuckerberg is talking about making an alternative to Twitter, because we're not going to go political here, but Twitter is what it is now. And a certain side doesn't like that. So they want their own Twitter. So Zuckerberg is talking about making his version of Twitter. And so Elon Musk said, challenged him to a cage match, in which Zuckerberg said, okay, let's hit the cage. So it turns out they both have martial arts backgrounds. So it's not just a couple of nerds. And I was watching the Pat McAfee show yesterday, and he had on Mr. UFC himself, Dana White, and Dana White was talking about how Zuckerberg had won some jiu-jitsu fights, and how Elon Musk has a background in fighting. Let's see. Elon says, people might not think this of me, but I've been in plenty of fights growing up in South Africa. So,
yeah, I put my money on the South African.
Yeah, me too. I got my money on Elon.
I know, right?
So almost immediately, Vegas odds are out. And so Vegas odds, last time I checked, are pretty even. So they don't know who's going to win this. On the Pat McAfee show, Dana White said he had to get off the phone in about 10 minutes when he was talking to them because he was going to be talking to Elon Musk. They are really seriously, he is saying this will be the biggest fight in history, and it would cost you $100 to watch it. And I would pay that $100 to watch
I would
it
too,
because I want to see this. And of course, they're going to have an undercard, or this will be on the undercard, but their fight will be for charity. As long as they don't come along and do a stupid Phil Brooks thing, we're good. Phil Brooks is CM Punk, an embarrassment to wrestling when he went to UFC and just got his face beat in twice.
nice.
But if you, sorry, I will never, he's probably on the TV right now on AEW.
On the TV.
Yeah, on the TV right now on AEW on Saturday Night Collision. But I got my money on Elon, and I want to see this fight. I absolutely do.
Oh yeah. I'm pulling for Elon.
Oh yeah, Team Musk all the way.
All right, Zach, who's
I don't like Zuckerberg's face.
we have worked. Yeah, I mean,
I mean that's my reason.
yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, but with Mark Zuckerberg, he'll probably get someone else to fight, steal their idea, and then say it was
Dude,
his.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure Mark Zuckerberg is a robot. Dude.
well,
Pretty sure.
so robots usually can fight. Okay, Angry
Hey, look
Zach,
at he never blinks, dude.
he does not. Angry Zach on the stream says, let's be honest, the match itself will be meh. Their work rate will probably be trash. The money will have to be made in the promos leading to the match. Both are needs so hard to pick. Both are nerds, I think is what he meant. But Zuck just looks so wimpy. So I'll go Elon. Yeah, he does. He does.
He does.
But here's the thing. If they're evenly matched in their level of fighting skill, where it's not one-sided, like with Phil Brooks, man, it's so horrible, an embarrassment to wrestling. I'm going to say it every single time.
Something to interject with.
But if you get two people who are equally matched coming in, it can be an entertaining fight.
Yeah.
it can be. The one thing that might be a decent factor in it is there is an age gap there. Elon is about 51 years old.
There's also a size gap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Elon is like a foot taller than Zuckerberg and like outweighs him by like about 50 pounds.
Yeah, I'm
oh,
trying to
really?
find the stats.
Yes.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He,
Yeah.
He looks, I mean,
Yeah.
he
How
looks pretty
big is-
jacked too.
Yeah. You can look at, I think he's like,
I mean, compared
6'2".
to Mark Zuckerberg.
I think Elon is 6'2" and like 250 or something like that. I think from what I saw, and that Zuckerberg is like 150 pounds or something like that, which is what you expect when you look at him. So,
Yeah, 6'1", 200 pounds.
yeah.
And they also like I looked up Elon Musk height and weight. They also have a thing. The next sentence is, as for Facebook founder, he's just 5'7" and 155 pounds.
Yeah. And so,
Come on, yeah, that's not fair.
so, well, and
Whoa.
because of that, Dana White said it wouldn't be commissioned, so it'd be an exhibition. So the commissions would not say okay to that because of the height and weight difference. That's the reason why you have weight classes.
Yeah.
So you don't have, and he talked about how it'd be like UFC 1.
Oh, come on.
The first
It'd
couple,
be like David and Goliath.
the first couple
That's kinda
UFCs, they didn't have height and it's more the weight limit. They didn't have weight limits the first couple UFCs. Got to interview Dan Severn a couple months ago, who I think of UFC 3, and they also didn't have one match. They had to fight several guys throughout the night when UFC first started. And because I love this, one of my favorite interviews of all time, because you were allowed to headbutt. And I asked him about headbutting this guy, the Russian Bear. And he said, I asked him, because professional wrestling, they say to sell it. So if you're giving a headbutt, it should look like it hurt you. And I asked if it hurt him. And he said he headbutted this dude 150 times in the match. He had cranial swelling. They had to take him to the hospital. And Dan Severn said he took a couple aspirin and went home. So the thing is, if they go in and they make it like jujitsu and no striking, that's what I'm guessing they'll do. I think they'll remove the striking from it, which will make it a little less interesting.
God, I hope not.
Unless, but
jiu-jitsu is like wrestling.
Yeah,
isn't it?
but jujitsu, you got throws and you got submissions.
Oh.
So it doesn't mean that Elon couldn't throw Zuckerberg up against the cage. He bounces off, he hits the mat, he jumps on him, and he puts him in an arm bar. And when he's in the arm bar, yeah, I know I said
that's
it wrong.
boring. I'd rather see him go toe to
No.
toe.
No. If he puts him in an arm bar and he cries, that'd be great.
Well, yeah, maybe later, but I still want to see them go toe to toe first.
We got a texter here who says they will both have their robotic body doubles stand in for them. I guarantee it'll be rigged anyway, one way or another. So
I mean, maybe.
I
But
don't
there's
know.
no proof of that.
Yeah,
But they have robotic doubles.
Yeah, well, no, that's
I don't know, Elon
absolutely
will.
true.
No,
But he's
I'm
talking
about the
throwing up.
rigging.
Yeah,
like,
the rigging.
Because there's theories out there that Jake Paul's fights are rigged, but then nobody knows for sure.
All right, Zach says we need Heyman in one corner and Don Callis in the other to help hype it up and sell us the story. Yeah. You guys don't know who those guys are. They're wrestling managers, and they're really, really good at hyping stuff up. Yeah, you need that. You need the hype man, and they both can afford to get them. The question is, Zach, who goes with who? I'm going Heyman with Elon and Don Callis over there with Zuckerberg. I want to see this fight. I absolutely want to see this fight.
And plus, Elon said that he got in fist fights in South Africa. Like, come on, I want to see that. Like, I want to see that the way he fights.
Well, Elon, when he's in South Africa, he goes and finds some lions, and then he gets them and he puts them into a cage, and
That's
then
like
he jumps
a street
in.
fight kind of thing. I'd like to see that.
Yeah,
like I'd like for some of that to be allowed.
I'm going to see if I can get an interview with Elon before the next show. See if he might do a phone interview with us.
All right, cool. I mean, you got connections. You've surfed. You've been to Australia. You got to know Elon. Alan says epic nerd rap battle would be funny. Also, heck yeah, third hour. Okay, Alan, I believe that rap battle's already been out there. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we are going to talk some video games, including the question that Angry Zach asked me earlier. I'm going to ask all of you guys. We've already kind of touched on it. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse. We in the club. Right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas.
I still can't believe you got the placid text line.
It's that kind of show. I feel like you picked up on that.
Man, I'm tired.
I am enjoying the absolute living heck out of this. This is radio. This is proper.
Nice
radio.
restraint.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
I told you when these things are here.
No, I got you.
Everybody can just come in.
I'll go out into one of the other rooms and just let fly for a minute and then come back.
There you go. Just get it out of there and come back.
Just get them all out.
Just cuts to the camera cuts to like you
All
in the
right,
background.
so we're going to do something different here. I want you to come back with the video game intro.
Okay.
So put it in place of the rejoin.
Where is
Yay,
it?
we're
All right,
talking
so it
games.
should say video game on it. So it's probably in row 2. It might be in 3. There it is. Yeah. So put it, yeah. Right there.
Can I put it in just there?
Yeah, you can do it on that side. You do it that way.
Robot.
Then delete the region.
You know, like the common,
Careful
the
doing
common
that.
thing was like
Delete
calling
it
him a lizard.
on stack 1.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
well,
okay.
there's
Gotcha.
back when he
AI
was
is
doing
a lot
the
more topical now.
well, back when he was doing the.
So do I need a
being
bed with that
interviewed
as
by,
well?
like,
No.
Congress.
Okay. It's got a
There
bed
was theories
incorporated.
about it all over the place. Either he was like a reptilian or he was a cyborg or a robot.
You just go
Can't,
home.
can't you
I'm
be?
just saying the dude
Can't you
never
be a
blinks.
reptilian cyborg? You could.
I guess so.
Could be.
Yeah.
Zach says it's rigged. Silicon
Reptilian
Valley.
cyborg from another planet. You could be all those. Can you be an AI reptilian?
Like nerdy
Well,
Adam shit,
yeah.
like-
No, I mean,
No,
The
but-
cyborg
What
kind
I
of.
meant about doing the phone thing, I can do his voice.
I got you.
Oh, okay.
we all understood what you were going
Yes.
for.
I didn't know.
Yeah, well,
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, don't tell everybody else.
They didn't hear. You didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, it did.
No, they didn't. It's the magic of radio.
I hear everything.
What?
I hear everything.
How many
What?
more minutes do we got?
Not as much as LexCorp does. He
40.
hears everything.
Huh?
40 minutes.
40 seconds. I mean, like.
Oh,
till
on
we come back.
seconds. Oh,
He's technically right. We do have 40 minutes.
I thought you said minutes.
No,
not
like
minutes.
till we come back from the break.
Oh, a minute and a bit. Minute and 20 seconds.
Well, if it's him,
Run, Tammy, run.
run like there's a T-Rex behind you. I've had to do that before. They do wave their arms like that. It's kind of silly.
I've got a T-shirt at home, and it has "If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands," and it's a little T-Rex crying, and I'm just like,
I was running a D&D session last night, and there's a dude who made an image of a T-Rex at one point.
If you
Like a
want
pier,
something to
scared with
drink,
some like
Tim,
mushrooms and
you want
stuff.
something to drink.
This is
go
probably
get
one of the
something.
silliest
You know where the refrigerator is
campaign
if
bits
you
I've
want
ever
something.
done. But the guy who they were fighting was like, "Oh, now let me show you the real thing." And like summoned one, and it just nommed the top half of his body
Try to drink more water.
and just knocked him out for like the third time.
that's terrible.
It was like,
We do band practice.
That's funny. That's terrible.
Did you see the picture I sent you?
With the Broly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see your typo?
No.
It was pretty funny.
what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see where you were wrong in that
It
sentence?
says, "Here's the duper Saiyan."
I
Duper
didn't have
Saiyan 4, man.
It is a duper. It's duper saying, man. I didn't have my glasses on.
It's a duper Saiyan 4.
See how much bigger he is? So he's 12 inch and all those.
Yeah,
are,
he looks good though. I like. Yeah.
Don't you fade that chanting yet. Just let it breathe a little bit. Ronsos, man. If you don't know the Ronsos, they get angry if you fade their chanting too quick.
Yeah,
all
bro.
right, all right. You can
The
slowly fade them out
Ronsos.
now.
No, it's staying up now. You've made your bed.
Hornless. If you haven't played Final Fantasy X, you have no idea what that is.
By the way,
All right.
I now remember the inside joke of why we had the scream before them chanting.
Yeah, wasn't he like the runt of the Ronzos?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, that's right.
And
And
he
he
lo-
has a broken horn.
Yeah, he lost his horn, which is like losing
Yeah.
your dignity. So
Dude, look up Kamari the Ronzo. You'll see what we're
yeah,
Ronzo, not Ronzo.
it could be
that's like-
Ronzo. Ronzo. Hi, I'm Lonzo the Ronzo.
yeah.
My horn is also broken. All right, so let's talk some video games. Zach asked me a question earlier on Facebook. Is it more important to have great graphics and because he's playing a lot on his Switch? Is Switch is looked down upon by people with Xbox Series X's and PlayStation 5s and things like that.
I got all three.
Yeah. Do you think that though? I mean,
No.
do you look down and go, yeah, but he's just playing a Switch. Can you enjoy a game with bad graphics? I would say
Yeah.
a lot of people can.
I grew up playing Final Fantasy VII. You want to talk about bad graphics?
Yeah,
I mean-
the remake is so much better.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, not better than the original. game.
Yes, it is. The remake is better.
No, it's not, dude. And I'll say that because Final Fantasy VII remake is linear. Now, it didn't bother me that
Yeah,
it was
but the
linear because I played the original game.
The second one's supposed to be open world. So you'll be able to tell us because I
I'm
won't.
hoping so,
'cause I don't-
if we ever see it.
It's coming soon, but I'm not getting a PS5 yet. I got to have more games than just that. I do want to play that second part,
I want to play Final Fantasy 16 because that just released on the 20th, and
Right.
I haven't gotten to play it yet.
and it is
I'm
a
really upset about that.
PlayStation exclusive. It's not on Xbox. So,
That's the whole reason I got my PS5 when I did, because I knew that 16 was coming.
all right. So is graphics? Cameron and I have this argument all the time about
frames.
frame rates, FPS.
Yes.
I wanted to say RTS, and I knew that was wrong. I know that's real time strategy. I get that. Alan says pull of radiance on Commodore 64, but I loved it. I tell you what, I actually have a Commodore 64 in my office. I do.
Ooh.
Yes. It is. I don't know how much money it's worth. It's probably worth a lot. It's very old. I wonder if you could actually boot it up and it will work. I might ask engineering if they could do that just to see. I'm sure Chris would be down for trying to see if we can make
That'd
it
be
work.
fun.
Oh, yeah,
to
he
watch.
would.
Yeah,
I think he would.
So I love my Switch, but the thing is, other than Pokemon, I don't have anything that's really Nintendo exclusive on my Switch. I got Skyrim on it because I want Skyrim on every possible thing there is, on computer, on 360, on Xbox One, on
Well,
Series
obviously,
X, on
any
everything.
Mario game you get is exclusive to Switch.
Yeah, but
you have to still play Mario, like, you know.
I mean,
like the Super Mario versions on the Nintendo Switch are set up like the old Marios, but with better graphics.
all right. Zach says, to this day, I can turn on Super Mario World and Sonic the Hedgehog and have as much fun as I did when I first played them, and as much fun as I have playing anything now. No,
I agree.
I get that about Sonic, not so much about Super Mario. I think the best Mario game was Donkey Kong, but you know, that's just me. I mean,
I liked Super Mario 3. I love that game.
Donkey Kong, I got into it a little bit, but yeah, no, it was the original Mario. I think that was the.
Keep in mind, I'm an old guy, so there's that.
I'm catching you.
Yeah, but I just Nintendo's for children, and I'm not going to back off on that. It is, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. And if you're a child,
and I agree with you there, but it was
so
for,
if you're
for
starting
us,
your kid out on gaming, you start them in Nintendo.
I will say this:
if you want to not worry about content and things like that, you put in Mario, you put in stuff like that.
Switch is a family-oriented system.
Yeah, I go with that.
My kids enjoy it. I enjoy it. Even my wife enjoys it, and she doesn't play video games at all. It's something that is introductory, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it'll break in nice and slowly.
Yeah. Like, but to say that it doesn't have interesting games, that would be a lie, because it does have really good, interesting games. You can play Assassin's Creed on them. You can play.
Yeah, but you could also play those on systems where the graphics will look better.
You could, but
that's
also,
a better deal.
Here's the thing about the graphics. Yeah, you can go out and you can spend, you know, between $400 to $600 on a brand new system, but then you got to go spend another whatever couple $1,000s on a TV that could handle this.
All right, Tim. You have
what kind of TV are you buying?
Tim, you have all
rates and refresh rates.
You have all three systems. You have all three systems.
Yeah.
Which game? What are you playing Skyrim on?
Either my Xbox or my PlayStation.
Yeah, but how do you? Why?
That's my point. That's my point.
But the
reason why is because of the control. I don't like the Switch controllers.
Yeah, but if you're playing on either Xbox or PlayStation, are you not losing your progress in the game if you switch between the consoles? Like if you get,
it depends on the game. So like if you like for example, I can sign in to my account on Call of Duty, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can play Call of Duty on my PlayStation and then sign into that same account on my Xbox and pick right back up and play that same account.
It's been a while since I've played on the console.
I could do that.
Some games have cross-platform progress.
Okay.
And all that. I think in a lot of cases, it is a case-by-case basis with a lot of these games.
Okay.
Now,
I got you.
Mario, Zelda, all these other Nintendo games are great for are great for the Switch because of the art style. It lends itself to not having to have like the most resolution or whatever based off of the art style, but you have more realistic games like Diablo 4 that recently just came out, which requires a lot more power to work it, and the game looks beautiful. I say beautiful in most cases.
Yeah.
Other cases horrifying.
Well, if you like blood to be vivid, it's beautiful.
Look, the landscapes are good when you're not covering it and stuff.
All right, Chris says PC is the way to go. So, and that's another thing we didn't throw in there is PC gamers, and PC gamers spend a lot more than console gamers do.
The other thing is like it's a matter of how much are you willing to pay as well, because PC is the absolute top because you can't beat that. Because they have infinite amount of ways to like improve, like with your consoles and stuff, you're stuck at where they have those things engineered to.
All right. Yeah. I need to address Zach here. He says exactly. Art style is more important than top tier graphics. Art style can cover a lot of that up. Okay. We addressed this earlier on. Mm-hmm. All right. So for me, if I don't like the art style, whether it's an animated feature, a comic book, or a video game, if I don't like the art style, I'm not playing it. And so, or I'm not watching it. And
for me, it's the
lot of this. There's a lot of things on Nintendo I don't like the art style.
For me, it's the story. I have to have a good storyline in there. If it's not piquing my interest as far as what's going to happen next, I'm done with it.
The other thing is
and
like
a good battle system.
Every game does something extremely well, differently than other games.
Yes.
And also in the context of saying art is more important than top tier graphics, not necessarily, because those kind of go hand in hand.
And for me, yeah, I mean,
Because if you have a more realistic looking art style, then that needs better graphics.
All right, Tim,
It's a matter of like what the requirements are. It's not necessarily one thing or the other. It's a lot of things interwoven into each other.
Tim has said a key thing several times when he's starting to talk. He says, for me, that's what this is. It's a perspective. It's each individual person having, they know what they like. I know what I like and I know what I don't like. You can look at console sales. If you want to look at it at sales, you can find out, does that matter or not? The thing about gaming, and it like a lot of things, but gaming more so than any other avenue of entertainment, there is something out there for everybody.
Yes, there are. Yeah.
And that's the cool part. You may not be into a certain system, but you like the other one, and that's okay.
Yeah. So as Steven says, the storyline is better than the graphics to me. And that's, yeah, I mean, as I said, I think earlier on before the show, we were saying like the graphics, I think myself, if you're playing a game with the graphics that are too good, it's taking from everything else. Like if you're playing the new Forza, the car racing games, I mean, you don't know if you're watching a real like cutaway.
I get what you're saying now.
I agree with
Yeah.
that.
If it looks too realistic, then it takes you out of it. Just like
It
how
does.
Dad was talking about how he doesn't like Red Dead 2 because you have to do too much stuff in it.
Feed the horses.
There's like
feed
Yeah,
it.
there's a layer of
I
it.
don't like Sims like games.
I play-
I hate that.
Yeah, I play a game to escape reality. If I
Yeah.
got to remember to feed the horse or he's going to die, I'm just out there to shoot outlaw or be an outlaw in this case. Yeah, I don't.
Well, I mean, outlaws can shoot
I would
outlaws.
say when
Yeah,
it
they
comes,
do.
I would
I
say
mean,
when it
you
comes to graphics,
Who's fastest?
they're not
Quick draw.
important to me because
You
of
got
the
me.
simple
That's just way
fact
too fast.
that it,
I'll
it
avenge
has
you
to-
later.
in order for it to be a good game, it doesn't necessarily have to have good graphics. I mean, look at the old Nintendo games. Look at some of the old PlayStation.
Look
original
at
PlayStation,
Minecraft.
Spyro, all this stuff. Like those were
Minecraft,
like
I don't get it.
you go back and look at them now, they're terrible
Yeah.
graphics. But would you say that they were bad games because they had terrible
No,
graphics?
not at the
No.
time. And
Well,
it-
but the other thing is like that's a difference of time.
That's true, but you can still go back and still enjoy those games.
Yeah.
And
Just like
be like, oh wow, look at those graphics. This is terrible. I can't believe I played this, but I'm still playing.
No,
it.
for the longest time, I had played Diablo 2 for like 10 years. Like from when it came out to like easily like early 2010s. Because the other thing is that's kind of what I had at the time. But I still played the mess out of it because I love the story. I love the feel of the gameplay and all that stuff.
So it really is what entertains you. It's what, and it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
I'll give you a prime little example. My little boy, he's working on his hand-eye coordination. My son is 3, and I have a little cars game on my phone where he has to move them out of the parking lot. He's fallen asleep, and I've stayed playing that. It's whatever entertains you. It's like these little bubble burst games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you just look at them and just kind of, I'm just going to finish. My wife will say, "Do you want to go do this?" Or just give me 1 second. I just want to clear this parking lot. She's like, "That's the boys'
I don't
game."
feel bad. I used to do that too.
Yeah.
I used to do that too.
It's like when you're watching TV with your kid and Bluey is on, and yes,
This is a pretty good show. It really is.
it is. It's actually a lot deeper than a lot of people give it.
The death
credit.
episode was tough though, and it's like, oh no.
Dude, my daughter loves that show.
I'm not going to lie to you. Like
Was it
I'm,
death
I'm-
episode?
Yes, there's a death
Yeah.
episode. It's a bird, if I recall.
yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. A big, angry-looking guy, but I will cry watching Bluey.
Yeah, it's yeah. I've watched quite a bit of Bluey. Alan on the stream says Centipede cabinet game, 2 thumbs up. Centipede, man, on the cabinet though, just the sound when
Yeah.
when that thing is coming down between the mushrooms is like,
I
no.
don't even know what that is.
Well, see, sometime when you find time, we're going to have to go to the Pinball Museum in Simpsonville.
Ooh.
We have been there, Cameron and I and Rob Brown and,
I would
Chris
love to
Evans.
do that actually.
You pay, how much was it? I think it was like $10.
Something like that.
And you can play all day. And they have a bunch of old school video games, stand-up cabinets, including like Gauntlet.
Okay.
You got Ninja
Tron.
Turtles?
They have Ninja
Oh,
Turtles.
Ninja
We played
Turtles.
Ninja Turtles.
I love that game.
And the thing is, you can put you pay a certain fee and you can play
Oh
all
man,
day.
we
all
got
day.
sweaty playing Ninja Turtles.
You can
Yeah.
play all day. We did. We have
Yeah.
4 of us on that cabinet playing to the point where finally we're just like, yeah, we were just going to move on to something else because we
Yeah.
could have played it all day. Same with Gauntlet.
I
And
also
then,
learned I suck at pinball.
yeah, I got to see Cameron play pinball for the very first time ever.
Oh, I love playing pinball.
Yeah.
So on the text line we have, if video game graphics had never improved over the years, do you think you would have moved on to other interests?
Probably not.
I don't think so. I think I think you're going to play them if you're into games, if you're into gaming. It doesn't matter what the graphics look like because it's, as I said earlier, it's entertaining you. It's
Yeah.
keeping you enthralled.
And I would say, like, for a lot of gamers, it's the gratification of beating,
playing, yeah.
a certain part, or
Because it's
You know
skill
what I'm
based.
saying?
Because
Yeah.
it's your part, like applying your skill against something, a set challenge. Overcoming that challenge gives you a sense of
and it's all up here. It's all up in your mind.
yeah. So I mean, like you feel like you're clever by beating the boss and all that stuff, or finding
Exactly.
some unique
And
way
I
of
didn't
doing
have
something.
to look it up to figure it out.
There
Like,
you
you
go.
know,
There you
Like-
go. All right, we got to go to break. We still got 2 breaks. You are listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas.
I will never forget when I beat Roxy on Proudly on the Kingdom Hearts scale. I'll never forget it. You want to know why? Because I didn't look it up. I sat there for like weeks, over and over, dying,
I felt
throwing
that
my
way about
controllers,
Sephiroth.
everything, but in
Right.
Sephiroth too. And but the second I hit that killing blow, I literally
tell you
just
about that,
dropped the
too.
controller, fell to my knees, and I was like,
Rage.
yes.
Roundtable.
That's the
I'll
kind
never
of
forget
euphoria
it.
you go for.
I will never
it's
forget
the
it because
first
I
one
figured
that
it out
yelled
on my
out.
own, and he was a hard
So,
boss.
replace the
You
reach
fought
on
him.
that.
You remember?
Yeah.
Roxas. Oh my God. I would say Roxas was harder than Sephiroth in a certain aspect. But it wasn't
And get
until
rid of
I
that
figured
reach.
out how to use Reflect until I started to figure out, okay, this is how you beat him.
The
Because
other
the
thing
second
is-
he hits
okay,
you, got to hit
also,
Reflect. And
I
You
feel
gotta
like now
take
I
that.
would have be so
So,
much better at those games because
We'll
so
do a thing
much
for
like
lightning round.
Kid Cameron was
Absolute-
very
actually go
much
to the final break
obsessed with offense and using magic.
and get rid of the
yeah,
reach.
yeah.
And then me now would be like,
Yeah,
because
get rid
I've
of
actually, weirdly enough, wrestling has changed my perspective of how to
Okay,
deal
the
with
reason why
that kind of
is-
stuff where
Okay,
you set
move
things
them
up,
back
you
like
have your
that.
blocks, you have your defense,
Lightning
you
round.
think a couple steps ahead,
Oh, yeah,
you
okay.
throw your
Fight it out
opponent
there,
off, then
and
you
at
beat the
50,
mess out of it.
50,
Yeah,
You create
like,
openings and stuff. and all
yeah,
that stuff.
you have to create those. That's the thing, though, is that you have to create those openings,
And I'll
and
remind
that's
you
how
of
the
the
game
last
is played.
Yep.
So to say
It's the other
that,
thing that like rewards you pretty well in Dark Souls and in Elden Ring.
yeah,
Because there's like tells that the opponent has and all that stuff.
dude, I still have not played.
Zach,
um,
I've seen the
I need to play that
game,
game. I just
and
haven't.
Chris told me it's really good. The problem is,
every
it
time I start it, I
looks like a
started
game
it
that you
twice
need to
already.
play with other people.
And every time I start it, somebody like
Maybe for
either
nostalgia
interrupts
reasons.
me in the middle of it, and I just stop playing it.
Yeah.
we had a
You gotta have some
time to play it. The other
Yeah.
thing is like it's
Oh yeah,
it's hard to
Trey.
get into, but once you get into it,
Is
Well, I'm
Odie a
trying to
fan of
grind
Aslan?
because
I
I'm
actually,
trying
yeah, I
to
kind of
die every
was.
2 seconds.
The lead singer did
That-
pass
that
away.
could
It
be
was
a reason.
Christy Dignam, not
Yeah.
Billy.
it's
But that's
discouraging
fine.
when you die.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he passed away
But
there.
I'm gonna get there.
He
I'm
had
gonna, one day I'm
cancer,
just
lots
gonna
of different
sit down
cancers, but
and be like, you know what,
yeah,
I'm
it
gonna
was
start
sad.
playing
I
this
used to
game.
like a
I'm
lot.
gonna beat it.
I wouldn't say I was a big fan of
Just gotta wait
everything
for
that
day
they
it
did,
comes.
but I did
Yeah.
like some of their music. Yeah, I
I'm
did.
behind on gaming though. I want to play the new Star Wars, and I wanted to play the
Dude,
Final Fantasy
Survivor was
16.
good. Did you ever beat that?
Not yet. No. I can't.
Oh, man,
I
I
want
wanna
to
play
talk
it
about
so
the yeah.
bad.
Diablo came along, and I'm worried about
All
that.
right, I get that.
By the way, I'm playing my second playthrough on Diablo. I'm trying to 100% it. The first playthrough, I did not.
Did you get? Oh wait, are y'all playing it on Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
Xbox?
You can. It's crossplay.
It is gross.
Yeah, but I was gonna see if you got the disc. I could borrow one.
Oh no, no.
Never played Galaga.
You know, like that back in the
Galaga's one
day,
of-
like you remember
Yeah.
when you
One of
used
my
to be like,
favorites
"Hey,
from
bro,
back
let
in
me
the day.
borrow the
from
new Tony
stand-up
Hawk game,
cabinet.
bro. Like you remember that?
I do remember that.
And then you get mad when it came back.
There
with
was a
little
man
scratch
playing
on it.
Galaga in
He was
Avengers.
sitting there like, "Hey man, you scratched my game. Scratched my game."
Tony
Oh,
Stark
look
says,
at no, maybe I have played. it.
this man is playing Galaga.
Now they got that
He
digital
thinks we didn't
stuff. We don't
notice,
have to worry about
but we
that
did.
anymore. But we can't share the game.
Technically, you
I've played
can
something
if
similar
you're
to
playing
it.
Xbox. You can share it with one other person.
Galaga's with the
Can?
spaceship.
Yes.
Flip.
I'm
No,
already doing it
that's
with my
Space
sister.
Invaders.
Has he?
Yeah.
I don't know, but
See if you can just
look,
under the
that
table share.
I'm going to leave you two to deal
Right,
with
right,
that.
Zach. I get it.
'Cause I don't want to be in the
but
middle and
it-
trying to
it's-
explain
It seems
this to the
empty
both of
playing
you.
it alone.
Alright,
That's
I'll
what
No
I'm saying.
offense to you guys,
No,
but
I'll
it's
ask.
just like
I want to play. I want to play that so bad, dude. I want to play.
Pints of beer.
I have a choice to make. I can
I'm
either
surprised
buy
nobody's
Star
asked
Wars
why
and
I'm
wait
not
till
drunk,
next
why the
month,
stereotype
or I can
hasn't come in.
buy Final
He's Irish,
Fantasy
why isn't he drunk?
16 and wait until next
I don't
month.
drink, so I wouldn't bring it. I
I'm
wouldn't
trying
bring
No,
to
it.
no, it's
decide
just
which
I'm
one I
surprised.
want. I'm
Big
well,
guy.
you
going-
know which one you're going to
I
go
don't
for.
either.
going
I
for
gave it up
Final
about 7 years.
Fantasy.
Not
course.
for any reason.
Yeah, I'm not.
I just gave
Final,
up. Like,
Final
that's-
Fantasy is like probably one of your favorite series.
I
right?
believe that there's a little truth in every stereotype, but
I'm
Alright,
gonna
this
say
has its
I'm
own
loyal
music.
to the series.
faded down after a little bit.
Yep.
All right, it's time for Nerd Roundtable. And as usual, we have some questions, but we also have some other stuff to talk about. But first of all, Cameron brought up a question to me, and I've reworded it a little bit, added to it. Not that it wasn't a good question, but I added to it. And here's the question. What is more evil in a video game, show, or movie? A person with a goatee or a person with a twirly mustache? When you look at them, do you think, which one's more evil? Person with a goatee or a person with a twirling mustache? And where this came from is Evil Spock. So if you watch the original Star Trek, Evil Spock had a goatee. It looked really cool, by the way. Evil Spock was the man.
He was bad. You bad.
So I maintain that twirly mustache guy is more evil. When I see twirly mustache guy, I don't trust that guy. When I see goatee guy, I'm like,
That's a man who ties
Yeah,
women
I-
to train tracks.
I
Yeah.
agree with the twirly mustache.
yes, exactly.
I forget
That's
what
like
the character
serial killer
was, but
status.
And maybe Hot Tub Time Machine killed this for me, but see, and he has a goatee. That's a direct quote. And because of that, Zach says twirly mustache.
Or the
So-
mustache.
So
Did.
I mean,
I don't ever trust a guy with a twirly mustache.
but Evil Spock from then on, I mean, people have joked from forever about goatee.
I think
That's your
goatee.
evil twin. And what if you Chris says goatee, Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber.
Yes.
I'm definitely goatee. I don't think Twisty Mustache. Twisty Mustache is like, yeah, I'm going to kill you now, and you can't do anything about it. Ha ha ha! But it's not, because that's not evil. That's just kind of like, all right, you go and stay over there, you'll be fine. But goatee, yeah.
All right. So
that can't be evil.
yeah. So you've been to England before, and there are a lot of English wrestlers with twirly mustaches. Is that a thing in England?
Yes, you have your twirly mustache, you have your tie, and you have your bowler hat, and just walk around London town. Isn't that right? Yes, it
Oh.
is. Isn't it?
So good. So good. It's hurtful. I'll never try an English accent ever again.
I'm still gonna try.
Yeah. No, not me. Not
I
me.
have no shame. I know I won't do it as well, but I'm still gonna do it.
It's learning when that's not your thing anymore. Yeah.
Well, so
that's-
you can do London, or you can do up in Liverpool, in it. So you
I
could
always
go
feel
all the
weird
way, and
doing
you could
accents.
pretend you're up in one of the Beatles. You know, you could be. You could go Ringo Starr.
You
and
see,
you could
that's
be
one of the ones I like to do.
Ringo Starr. He's amazing. You could talk as John or Paul or George or Ringo, and you could get on the yellow submarine and go and see Titanic.
That's right.
yeah, but don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You know, speaking of that, to bring that back around, since we're in the
I
round
wanted
table.
to get in the summer. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all right.
crap. I forgot why.
All right. So since we're in the round table, how far is too far? When these
I think
people
we just went there.
no. When these people were missing, and these are human beings who died by implosion, probably didn't feel a thing, by the way.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Other than oh no, and that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, the memes and or I'm going to look for the submarine, and there's pictures of people in a duck suit and stuff, and it's just how far is too far? Social media made it to the point where there is no value in human life anymore. I know it's deep, and yes, I laughed at some of that stuff, but then I started thinking about it. You know,
I did,
it's
man.
low.
I find it
It's-
disgusting.
yeah, it's just
Man, people died.
yeah, they did, and
But I think social media has made us so kind of. I
I
want
mean, I
to.
understand that there's questions about
Yeah.
it. Like, you know, I know
Conspiracy
that you
theories,
can't-
yeah.
Well, I asked my wife this question, and even some of my son. I was like, "Why can't you go that deep in the water?" And they both said because of the pressure.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was my question about the whole thing. Why, out of the 6 people that went, nobody asked that question? But I mean, other than that, like, people still died, and their families are grieving.
Yep.
I find it very insensitive to make the kind of memes that I've seen over it. Like,
All right.
There is a line there. It's a very thin line that you can cross fairly easy. But Zach actually points out something on the text line, or on the stream, and says gallows humor has always been around, but yeah, social media has made people kind of cold.
Yeah, I got
Oh, yeah.
I gotta say, I have gallows humor. I can't help it. When I die, which will happen someday, I will say something stupid right before it happens, probably. Even if I'm 99 years old on my deathbed and I'm seeing the light, I will say something stupid because that's just me. That's just what I'm
I'll
going
make
to
sure
do.
to put it on your.
Yeah, well, that's I'm gonna make sure that's
his last
I
one.
will tell Cameron, whatever my last words are, no matter how weird they are, I want that on my tombstone.
Just talking about the twisty
I mean,
mustaches.
that's one thing though, but
He's
like to make a sick joke out of it.
Yeah, it's
completely
but that's the thing. Social media has corrupted everybody.
Yeah.
It's gone that far.
All right, twisty mustache.
Twisty mustaches. We got a texter, 158. He says Jim Carrey in Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, for sure, without
Yeah,
a doubt.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah, that was a good call. That is a good call. But you're wrong, but it's a good call.
But the goatee is the iconic evil facial hair.
See, I don't know. I don't know.
Because I mean, it stemmed from Star Trek, and then you have so many spoofs from that afterwards.
You do, but
And it's a reference that caught on.
all right. Let
With
me.
twirly mustaches is like it's either a hipster or again a guy who's going to tie some.
Ooh, I agree, Elizabeth.
I gotta say this. As someone who's rocked the goatee many times,
Yep.
I can't go with the goatee being evil, but I can't do the twirly mustache, so it obviously must be evil because I'm not evil. But people who can do that, they definitely are evil.
Are you sure?
Apparently, the devil had a goatee. That's
Well,
what,
there are depictions of said, but when I picture the devil,
Yeah.
I picture darkness from the movie Legend. And if you haven't seen that, look it up.
You know who I picture when I picture the devil?
Dave Grohl.
No, the guy from the Prophecy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
Who
I
also
always-
played Aragorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
always.
just
Like
remember
all
the long
true
blonde hair.
love.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I always picture Dave Grohl from the Tenacious D song.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the devil for me.
Yeah.
Wait, was that Dave Grohl?
Yeah.
Dave Grohl's and everything.
Seriously, man, come on.
Don't how dare me.
How very dare you, sir?
He was also a girl in some of his videos.
He was kind of
What?
cute.
Yeah.
He was kind of
You-
cute.
you-
I know he
Is
wasn't.
David
What?
Grohl like Foo Fighters?
Yeah. So
No, Dave Grohl from Nirvana. Duh.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy.
Did you ever
The
notice that the
for
drummer?
Nirvana.
Did you ever
The
notice that
singer
the
from Foo
drummer
Fighters.
from Nirvana looks exactly like the singer from Foo
Yeah,
Fighters?
it's
yeah.
amazing.
He has a
now.
twin, I guess.
Yeah, there's a doppelganger
to
everywhere
be.
you go. All right, we're going to take our final break. When we come back, we're going to hit the lightning
Are we?
round and we're going to throw in as many things as we possibly can in the limited time that we have. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
This really is good fun. I'm really enjoying that.
What do you mean that show's sponsored? It's chaos.
That show is always fun. Every show
This
is
chaos is sponsored
Thank you,
by-
Borderlands Comics and Games. Gotta get Rob one. He's just so busy.
Social media has become disrespectful in a lot of stuff. Yes, it has. It has, but it's made us all. But then again, as I don't know if I was going to say this, I probably should. No, I wouldn't say it on air. Irish people have a completely different view on death than American people have. So, from what I've seen so far, it's not that we don't care about it. Like, it's not that we don't care about that. It's just kind of it happens. That's it. And you know, we make a big deal out of funerals, like a big deal out of funerals, and we have to, like, if we go to a funeral, we have to touch the body, which kind of freaks people out. I mean, I've been to 2 or 3 funerals here in the last 6 years, and I'll always kiss the person on the forehead, and I've had people actually go, "Oh no, that person's dead." I'm like, yeah, but it's still a person. It's still It's like
yeah, and I get that.
yeah. Some people got a little bit freaked out with stuff like that. But yeah.
It is.
You know, I was thinking of that today, Zach, because, and I'm going to mention this in the lightning round. All the big names are probably not going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, including Lucasfilm, Netflix, Universal, Sony, and Marvel, because of the writer's strike. And so San Diego Comic-Con, it's actually just going to be about the comic books and video games, because all those panels, and it's the most famous con for all the panels.
Yeah.
Those people are probably not going to be there unless the writers come to a settlement before then. And it's looking like it's a good possibility. But when I was reading that today, I was thinking, will this affect South Carolina Comic-Con? I don't think it will, but it might. One of the things, it just might mean we get more wrestlers. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Needs more interviews for you.
Which I'm fine with. Yes.
So
All right. So
you want me to-
lightning round in two.
yeah, so you oh yeah.
Go ahead and get it in two.
You're gonna just let one stop in the set mode
Yeah.
that's already there, and
Yeah,
then
so
fire the lightning round in 2.
And it's keep the music going the entire time for lightning.
Yeah, okay.
Faded after there's like a quick, you'll hear George W. Bush
So
after that.
just after this Odyssey
Yeah,
here, I
yeah.
just fired the lightning.
And
round.
then at 58:50, you hit this and you.
I don't like how that just focuses on me like it's a spotlight.
That's why I dimmed them out a little bit,
lightning
so
round
you
comes
didn't look
in-
like
Well,
an
no,
angel
I
was
say I
about
don't
to
like
pull
when
you
I-
up to heaven.
I do kind of.
started hot and then
Did
bring
you
it down
notice?
enough
Did you
for us to
notice
talk
in the
over. it.
video intro that I made that I put that in there?
No,
I think the actors
I don't think
are
I've seen it.
acting in solidarity
Dude,
with
I'll
the
show you
writers
after.
right
I'm
now.
gonna show you after.
yeah.
And a lot of it has to do with AI.
That's the reason I put it in there. It's because like we're always like illuminated by these lights.
We're ascending.
Yeah, dude.
See that, or we're getting beamed up.
We're gonna float up to heaven.
I like the first option because the second one requires like probing.
Deep breath before lightning round.
All right, 28 seconds.
Not that deep.
So you can go as deep as you want, but you're gonna have to release it eventually. Why does Pappy breath smell so ancient?
10 seconds.
It's like the same kind of quality as a mummy.
Juicy.
Like one of those ones that just crawls out of a pyramid. You gotta put him back with a stick. It's just like, go back, mummy.
Lightning can only strike twice so many times.
All right, it's time for lightning round, where we squeeze in as many stories as we possibly can. Maybe because I just started coughing and I have nothing to drink. So let's see what we can do. All right, San Diego Comic-Con will probably look different because it looks like Marvel Studios, Lucasfilm, Netflix, Universal, and Sony will set out San Diego Comic-Con. So the question is, San Diego Comic-Con, is it the same without all the panels? One of the things we do every year and have for as long as I can remember is watch the panels from our favorite shows and favorite movies when they go to San Diego Comic-Con. Because of the writer's strike, that might not be happening. So it may just straight up be Comic-Con, which is, there's still some, the new Ninja Turtles, they're going to be there. There's going to be some other things, but there's going to be some things that we don't get to see and hear about as far as all the new stuff coming up for Star Wars and Marvel and things like that. So,
I'm behind them on that writer strike.
yeah, me too. Because AI, they got to get it under control. All right, Furbies. Does anybody know what a Furby is?
Yes, we know what
Yes.
Furbies are.
Yes.
Furbies are going because Hasbro is losing a lot of money. They're trying to bring Furbies back.
I can keep them creepy things.
Furbies, oh, they're creepier now. Oh,
I know
no.
what'll save us.
No.
Furbies.
The Furby, the top-selling toy of 1998, has returned only with a few tweaks for a new generation. Over the past few years, we've done a lot of research to understand what kids would want to see in the new Furby. Whereas the original Furby had infrared eyes, which were creepy, by the way, that allowed the toys to communicate with each other, Hasbro has replaced them with tiny LCD screens. And while the original could be taught to say a selection of words, the new model is programmed to give more than 600 responses. According to the company, it also reacts to commands, imitates sounds, and eats.
Nah, bro. No, bro.
Can I tell you something real
No.
quick? Quick story. So a buddy of mine
Furbies are possessed.
was at a job site. He found a Furby face, like kind of like slowly like coming
bro.
out of the dirt.
Yeah, they're
He's like,
possessed,
he
man.
just took a picture of it. He's just like, this is the most cursed thing I've ever seen
Bunch of little
on a job
Annabelles,
site.
man. I'm telling you.
Man, I hate Furbies. This is
Yeah, dude, I don't do Furbies, man.
so creepy. So
I'm
let's-
just looking at them online here. They look so cute.
yes,
No, they don't.
Yeah, until it's the middle of the night,
They
they start
don't.
talking.
They still look
Yeah.
creepy, man.
Yeah. That's not
With
no.
these big, gigantic eyes and a little beak.
Yeah, I agree with Chris on the stream. Sounds like little AI warriors. Exactly. That's what it sounds like. All right.
I agree with Steven on the on the
Well,
stream. who
Steven
says-
on the Steve.
who says that my hair is still the goat.
It's
saying.
not. I put out a video that proved why my hair is better. Until there's a response video, then
I got
win.
one coming. I
Okay.
got one cooking.
We'll see. All right. There was a truck accident on Atlanta, which spilled out 39,000 pounds of this. Tim, what was it?
Poop.
It was not poop.
From the poop factory.
Cameron, what do you think it was? 39,000 pounds of this.
Jelly beans.
Okay, it was not jelly beans. Odie,
Rubber chickens with twisty mustaches.
no, but that would be awesome.
Mhm.
It could have been poop.
It was butter.
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 39,000 pounds of butter.
It's a wall butter out on that Atlanta highway.
All right, so the accident happened at about 4:30 a.m. near Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Authorities say all traffic was being diverted to Interstate 85, which, as we know, is never crowded.
Never.
While crews struggled to clean up the slippery mess, according to police. So, how do you clean up 39,000 pounds of butter? I don't know.
Toast. Lots of toast.
Yeah,
You
possible.
definitely,
Yes.
you definitely need a
A
degreaser for
really
that.
like a highway like sized toast.
What I
Like,
thought
make
you
it
would
the
have went
same
with
width of-
scones or something. I mean,
Scones or
yeah,
scones?
scones, whatever it is.
Mhm.
Craven the Hunter trailer just came out, and Odie really enjoyed it.
Oh, he did.
And I enjoyed the violence.
What is it?
But the problem is what they did is they made Craven the Hunter a warrior for PETA. So we're gonna find out.
People eating tasty animals.
Yeah, well, not this one. So
Oh, okay.
Craven the Hunter in the comic book hunted big game animals. In this one, he's protecting them. So we'll see what happens. But they made Russell Crowe with his big old huge head the bad guy. So
I feel like that's a real pot and kettle situation you have going on.
yeah, it's all right. I appreciate Predator trophies like my head would be. I really enjoy that. Zach is rolling his eyes. And I don't blame him. All right, here's one that let's see if we have time. Make sure you watch your clock.
Yeah. 40 seconds.
Crunchyroll is adding 15 Dragon Ball Z movies to its catalog.
Yes.
Now we don't know if we get what we want, Tim.
Korea might.
And that's
I want
no
Korea
soundtracks. We don't know if we get the soundtracks
Oh, man,
that we
I hope
want.
so, man. We need
The
the American.
the
we
American
need the American
soundtrack.
versions, bro.
Yes. And
That is a very good question. I didn't even think about that.
so
I
Dead
miss the original American music of Dragon Ball.
Yeah, Dead Zone, World's Strongest, Tree of Might, Lord Slug, Cooler's Revenge, Return to Cooler, Super Android 13, Broly, BoJack Unbound, Broly the Second Coming, Bio Broly, Fusion Reborn, and Wrath of the Dragon. Also Resurrection F and Super Broly. So everyone except for Superhero. And I own all of those. But who plays a DVD anymore or a Blu-ray? I mean, everybody
I
usually
do.
watches streaming.
I still have it for certain things.
All right, I want to thank
That I want
everybody.
graphics for.
I want to thank everybody for participating on the show today, especially on the stream and on the text line. I want to say hello to Odie, and you probably will be seeing more of him in the future. So,
Yeah, thanks for popping my my Pulse cherry.
okay,
And he
there we
did-
go.
He did a wonderful job this week. I
He-
want to say that.
Yeah,
Thank you
that's-
very much.
That is awesome. All right, have a great weekend, everybody, and see you and talk to you and all that stuff next week. If you timed it out right, you're good. There will be talking in a moment.
Oh, oops.
Well, Tim's gone.
Sorry.
You
We're
can like
still
slide
here.
over here.
I'm still
You
here.
can slide over here.
No, it's
I like
all right.
I like existing.
Tim
in-
has
in
left the building.
invisibility.
Thank you, Chris.
He's
Oh,
now
we're
become
still- oh, yeah, we're
Schrodinger's
still
Tim
on.
Yeah,
again.
we're still on. Say goodbye, Odie.
Goodbye, Odie.
All right, Cameron, say goodbye.
Oh, everybody does that. Goodbye.
I know.
Goodbye, everyone. Tim doesn't get to say goodbye
Yes,
because
I
he just
do.
signed
Goodbye.
off. He just like
Goodbye.
he's like, I'm out.
Why did you become
right.
Russian?
I'll say
Tim?
goodbye. I'll say goodbye to you
Goodbye.
later. Slán leat agus fáilte.
Yeah, what he said. Man, I hope it was clean, but we're online now, so it doesn't matter. See ya. Yeah, don't do that.